All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Unfiltered podcast. We have five lovely ladies, lovely guests with us today. Looks like it's going to be a great show compared to the other ones, man. Let's get it.
Oh no.
I would have touched you with a fucking stick.
Welcome to the Unfiltered podcast, the realest show on earth. That's flat earth and the globe. You guys, we are the only show that caters to the chats. Remember, if you want to ask us or the ladies any questions, or if you have any topic suggestions, make sure you super chat. Remember to wear your headphones at work because we are not responsible and or liable for you getting fired for listening to this content. Ladies, before we start, remember, we speak in generalities, okay? Don't take anything personal. We are not responsible for how you feel. Subscribe to the channel, become part of the family, turn your notification bell on. Like the fucking video, man. Throw us in the algorithm, please. Become a member because the member chat is always fire. We have 6 tiers. The most affordable tier is going to be $4.99. That's $5. If you don't have $5, they got Job Corps. Remember, you guys, if you don't want to watch the full episode, make sure you subscribe to the Clips channel so you can watch the 5 to 10 minute clips on the most exciting parts of the episode. Don't forget to join the Discord, and don't forget to become a member of the Locals channel where you get all the behind scenes footage of the kickouts, the fights, and the yacht parties. And the merch is finally in. So go to unfilteredpodcast.shop to get it. It's hot.
Yeah. Special shout out to my boy fucking T.I., man. He just became a Super Saiyan member, man. Shout out to you, brother. I think Repo's already getting all your information to add you to the special exclusive chat. Sorry about that. And yeah, man, whenever you guys join, we get to add you to the new chats, and you guys actually get a whole bunch of perks with that as well. We appreciate you guys rocking with us, man. We're the only podcast. When we started this podcast, we said we wanted to be inclusive to the chat. You know, I looked at other podcasts and I was like, yo, what's something that nobody's doing? And it was having an entire show dedicated to where the chat can literally speak to us from start to finish. There's no other podcast that does that. So we appreciate you guys so much, man. Donations will be scrolling on the bottom right there. Anything goes up on the screen, any type of donation, whether it's $1, $5, it all goes up on the screen. But we do start reading super chats at 20. Okay, those are the immediate chats, and then anything 10 and up, we read it too. But when we get to it, okay, we appreciate you guys donating, man. It helps us out a lot. You know, we got new upgrades we're doing. We have the table we want to work for us and for you guys to actually have something nice to look at when we go live. Also, man, I care about the ladies, so we want to get the ladies like comfortable chairs. And chairs that push the ladies forward so they're not sitting here like this. Okay, so we're working on that too. And just in general, man, we're doing a lot of upgrading behind the scene. But if you guys can't support us, man, through donations or super chats, like the video, guys. Like the video. It helps us out with the algorithm. There's a lot of people out there that would fuck with us. They just don't know we exist yet. We're still a brand new channel. So when you guys like the video, comment, and subscribe, it helps us out a lot. Become a member, like he said. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, and you can now find us on Kick as well. Okay, you can now find us on Kick. We do have the TikTok challenge going on for all of our viewers. You know, you don't necessarily have to be a member. Of course, like he said, being a member is only $4.99. I mean, if you don't have $4, bro, respectfully, man, go get a job, guys. Don't be watching us, man. Go get a job right now. You need a job, okay? So the TikTok challenge, you have to join the Discord, and my boy Repo's in there. He'll give all the rules and regulations to you guys. Essentially, it's $100 a week you guys can get. All you have to do is just post our reels on TikTok. Whoever gets the most views, get $100, okay? It's super easy. It takes 3 seconds to post a fucking TikTok.
3 seconds.
3 seconds, literally. Like, I do this shit every day, so. Okay, cool. I don't think we'll need to kick out a girl today, but we do have that offer too at the bottom. Obviously, as you can see, I know guys are like, yo, I'll pay $500 to get a girl kicked off. Hey, man, listen, I don't think we'll have that issue today. But damn it, why couldn't you guys do it 2 days ago? 2 days ago, we had 2 girls that we kicked off, man. So, as he mentioned, we have the new merch. We have all colors for the ladies. Okay, we have pink, we have white for the ladies, we have black, we have purple, we have red. All the gentlemen too. We have all the same colors I just named for the ladies. We have it for the gentlemen as well. And also, a few of you had already pre-ordered, so we're gonna get you your merch soon, man. Appreciate it. Court is now in session, man. We're gonna ask the ladies to introduce themselves. You're gonna start off with your name, your age, and if you're single or in a relationship. So your relationship status. Go ahead.
My name is Mackenzie. I'm 24 and I am indeed in a relationship.
Taken, okay.
I am, yes, and have been for the past year and a half.
All right, cool. Shout out to you. And what about you over there?
I'm Crystal, 39, and in a relationship.
All right, 39 or 29?
Damn.
I'll take 29.
Okay, I just wanted to see. What about you over here? Go ahead.
I'm Chelsea. I'm 32 and I'm currently engaged.
Okay, Charles. Oh, you're engaged?
Yes.
Were you engaged last time when you were here?
I was.
You were? Oh, shit. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. And you're taken. Okay. This is going to be an interesting panel. Okay. What about you over there?
My name is Kyria. I'm 20 and I'm in a relationship.
20 and taken. Wow. Okay, guys. Obviously, you guys know who I am. My name is Eric. This is Hector, and we have Fanny working the chat, man. Make sure you guys keep it respectful in the chat. Make sure your super chats are also respectful. We do reserve the right to not read your chats, man. If you're being stupid, man, I'll keep the money and we won't read your shit, okay? I'm letting you guys know right now. I'm not playing that shit, man. All this dumb shit that's been going on this week, man. I don't rock with that shit. You know, we're here to make a difference. We're not here to fucking gossip or blabber and do all that dumb elementary school shit, okay? So this is the first time that we've had a panel full of taken ladies.
Wow.
Wow.
That dog sound.
Think about that for a second, bro. We've never had a full panel full of taken ladies. Damn, that's crazy. This is the first time. And what episode is this, bro?
Episode 232.
232. It took 232 fucking episodes to get an episode in a full panel full of ladies that are all in relationships. And to be fair, we had 3 girls that were supposed to come today, so probably one of them might have been single. But as it stands right now, you guys are the 4, so I can't even go through my therapy session with you guys. I have this therapy session thing I do, and I tell girls like what's wrong with them. We both kind of do it, but today we're gonna skip that since we don't have it.
Well, Eric, we should ask them why haven't they been proposed to yet? Maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's
we
a
should
good
dive
question.
deep into like what's going on.
Yeah, that's a good question actually. Okay, cool. How long have you been in a relationship?
A year and a half.
Okay, a year and a half. Why haven't you been proposed to yet, do you think?
That is a good question from an outside perspective.
Okay.
But don't you think a year and a half, that would be a little soon to get engaged?
See, there it goes.
Yeah, no. A man knows. A man knows within like 90 days.
I like her because you can always.
But let's look at the statistics.
You can always count. You can always count on her to say some off the wall things, right? Well, don't you think that's too soon?
No.
A year and a half?
I don't think so.
So that's fair. I do absolutely agree with that I've heard that a man knows when he wants to marry a woman.
Yeah.
When you see people who are engaged for 9 or 11 years,
That's crazy.
It doesn't make sense to me either. I am going to have to say at the beginning of my relationship, my boyfriend was not wanting to commit or come into a relationship at the time and settle down. Evidently, over a few months, we did decide to. So I do think he has that basically hold where he doesn't know that he wants to fully commit to an engagement, let alone not even wanting to commit to a relationship in the beginning.
How old is he?
28.
And you're
24.
24.
Interesting.
Are you sure he just doesn't want to commit to you? Because you said the first 4 months, you said, right? First 4 months. And then you said we decided. I would argue that he did. He decided to commit.
That's fair because I was on board to commit initially. I don't think women take a man seriously enough to not want to date them. So that's right that I was on board. Then he later joined. And I could also see the point of seeming like it's too soon for me. I don't want to be married yet at 24.
Why not?
I also have a daughter, which plays a role in things too.
Red flag.
My daughter's 3.5. So she's at the age where anybody I bring around who's not her dad, I'm extremely conscious of. But do not just bring random men around my daughter, let alone someone who I'm going to be married to and is going to be around her for potentially years.
Is the
forward.
father involved in her life?
Yes, extremely.
Why don't you work it out with him?
I think we needed time to begin with.
It's too late now. I would tell you, listen, I have kids, man. It's too late now. When a woman goes off with another man for a year and a half, I'm not taking that back, bro. I'm not taking that back.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from a man's perspective. I'm not speaking for you. I'm saying for me personally, right? If I have kids with someone, and I do, I have kids, I have 2 kids, right? And she goes off for a year and a half and plays house with another man. You know, I'm obviously still active in my kid's life, but I don't want that anymore. It's like fuck, I forgot what animal it is. I think they pee on their mates or some shit like that. Like they mark their territory. I personally like this a year and a half. I already know, especially me having kids with you. I already know the nasty things you done with him. I can't. I'm just from a man's perspective, though. That's how. Listen, ladies, you can laugh all you want. I'm telling you, we think about this, right? Because I care about what my woman has done. Like I gotta live with that for the rest of my life. So I would say it's too late, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, from a man's perspective, he's absolutely right. Now, let me ask you this: how long were you separated from your
My daughter's
child's father? Yeah,
before being with my boyfriend now, about 4 months before we started talking, and then that's 8 months in total with the 4-month offset from when we first started talking, and then me dating my boyfriend now.
Yeah.
So 8 months before jumping into the new relationship.
Did you? I'm sorry. Did you mention your new boyfriend? He's around your kid, right?
After a year.
After a year.
Oh,
Okay.
it took him a year. Okay,
It took
cool.
him a year.
Yeah, cool.
That's another thing too. Why we tell men not to date single mothers, because you're not just dating her, you're dating the kids. And I get it. Like I respect that after a year, because that's the rule I have too.
Correct.
Like it has to be a year, because I know within a year, I don't know if it's serious. It has to be at least a year. And I would like it to be more than that. But at minimum, it has to be a year. No one can come around my kids for at least a year, because I don't want to go to prison. You know what I mean? So in general, like, I just think that it's too late for you. If some guys will take it. So if you run back to some ex, some guy might be like, yo, I love you for my kids. I'll do it. But mentally, I can't get over what I think about what you've done with this guy. And you can call me insecure. You can call me, whatever you want. But I know as a man, especially having had you myself, I know what you're capable of, and I'm not cool with that. You know what I mean? Especially knowing, I just can't. I really can't.
It's an emotional thing too. Like, for you to allow another man to enter your body, you would have had to have some sort of emotional connection to him and lose emotional connection to the man prior.
Yeah. Sure. And I appreciate you ladies actually being really cool about this. And I said this before the show that I think this is a very mature panel, so we can have these type of discussions, right? If we 2 days ago, if I had said this, the girl would have been like, "Oh, fuck you, blah blah." But I think this is a mature panel right here. Your current boyfriend may not like us, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. I think that it's an L for him to be dating a single mother, unless you're just so valuable. And there are some women out there, some single mothers, that are just super fucking valuable. I'm talking about, I've met some myself, man. They're so valuable that like a single chick with no kids doesn't even compare. Like that's just how valuable she is. But those women are so rare, the minority. Okay. But it is an L for him to date you, because if he dates you and you decide to leave one day, he loses everything. He loses the kid. He loses the time he spent. He loses the resources. He loses everything. It's just not. It's not good. And then also, you just said your kid's father is very active in their lives. So like, then you also have that. Now I feel like I'm dating you and I'm dating him, because you got a co-parent, right?
Right. And that was something that initially, when I had jumped into my relationship, we had set the boundary of waiting at least a year for my daughter to come around him, and it was under the rules that he had to meet him too. So we all had to get together. We all had breakfast. They discussed intentions, boundaries, and my daughter's father is extremely protective over us, as any father would be as an active father to their daughter specifically, to where he's made it known where he stands in our life and that he will always be around.
Yeah.
And I can completely see how that was also difficult for my boyfriend now to hear this and understand this about the girl that he's sexually active with and in a relationship with. Also, he's never dated a girl who's had a child before.
Yeah.
So now we're at a good standpoint where we actively co-parent. We can all be around each other and everybody gets along. And
Your man is a better man than me.
But Eric, can I?
Yeah.
What would you say? But what if the man also has kids, though? You would still say a man stay away from single mothers, even if you, as a man, also have
That's
children.
a really good question, and I'm gonna also let him chime in on this one because me and him don't always like think the same way. First of all, being a single father and being a single mother are two different things.
Right.
Right? We already know that being a single mother, you're almost always, unless you know it's the exception, the man almost never like I'm a father, but my kids don't live with me. So the mother is almost always with the kids, right? Like he could be a father and have kids, but most likely the kids will be with his ex. You know, unless some rarity thing happened where like he won custody, which by the way would be really hard to do, right? And he lives with his kids, or maybe you know his ex passed away or something like that. But even then, it's still L. It's still.
But wouldn't
it's still
you rather want somebody that has children? Because dating us, if you have a child as a man, you're dating a woman that doesn't have a child. She will never understand what comes into being, you know, that unionship with a child. So wouldn't you feel you would want somebody that also has experience with children to understand that you have a child and she also has a child? I think that's hard dating somebody when you have a child, they don't have a child, and they don't understand what goes into it.
I love that you're making this argument because it seems like it would be a good idea, right? Like she's a mother, so she knows how to be motherly. She knows, but I've seen situations where, first of all, you may not want to admit it, ladies, but your kids will always come before my kids. I'm telling you, I've seen it happen before where like I'll have kids. Maybe I'll date a girl who has kids. Her kids will always come first. And no matter what women say, oh, I love them exactly the same. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's like if I dated a single mother and I was like, yo, I love your kids exactly like I love my kids. No, I don't. It sounds beautiful. It sounds nice,
but
right?
What if her kids are actually better than your kids?
It doesn't matter. Like if you're a real parent, it doesn't matter. Like you might prefer the way he acts over the way your kid acts, but internally you'll still always love your kid more. It's just biological, right?
Does he have kids?
My boyfriend? No.
So he's a single man. Like, I mean, but like childless.
Kid-free.
Childless.
Yes.
You have one daughter.
Correct.
And he hasn't proposed to you or spoken about it either.
No.
It's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have some super chats coming up too, man. So we can go ahead and power them up in a second. Before we get there, let me go around the table real quick. Short and concise. Why haven't you been proposed to?
I will never get married again. I already been down that road. I was traumatized. I'm perfectly fine with what I have.
Okay. So you've been married before. You got divorced. Now you're dating somebody. How long have you been dating them for?
A year.
A year. And you will never get married again.
I do not want to.
So do you think it was the marriage that failed, or do you think it was you and him that failed?
Both.
Both what?
Like a combination of both.
So a combination of the marriage and a combination of you two?
Yeah, you know, honestly, since we've been separated and since all that whole divorce, I feel like if I could go back in time, we would have made better friends than a couple. And then unfortunately, well, I love my children, but when you have children with somebody that you probably shouldn't have, you can't come back from that. You just have to take the proper steps to move forward to both be healthy parents to your children. And you know, that's where we're at. And
your children are grown?
No, my oldest is 11 and my youngest is 8. And we do have 50-50 custody. That was something that we both sat down and we wrote a whole parenting plan, everything. They live with him 1 week. They live with me 1 week. When you have them, everything is your responsibility. When I have them, everything is my responsibility.
How long you guys been divorced for?
Since 2016.
And you were married for how long?
2 years, but we were together since 2010.
Wow. Let me ask you something. What's your new man giving you that your old man wasn't?
A lot more patience.
So just patience?
A lot more reliability. He especially like to have patience to deal with someone else's kids. Like he has kids too, and you know, but that comes into play a lot, you know. But you want someone that's going to be nice to your kids and treat them nice and, ask them too, how are you? Not just ignore them and, they're just there.
Yeah, it's like I'm saying, man, I don't see the point of guys dating single mothers. And I think that in your situation, why not just work it out with your husband? I think we live in today's society where if something doesn't feel good, or if maybe for a month my husband didn't get me flowers, or he didn't acknowledge me washing the dishes, I'm gonna leave.
You said that to me last time.
Because I believe in the same thing. Because I believe that. Listen, I bet your grandmother or your great grandmother or someone else's great grandmother that you knew, like they stuck it out. Their marriages were like till death do us part. You remember that part of marriage? Does anyone here remember that part, or did they delete that shit recently? You remember back there? It's still there.
It's still there.
Yeah. Is it still there for real?
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn that thing was like till death do us part, right? I could have sworn that was the way that it worked, but apparently not. It's till I get bored, do us part. Because I really think you could have made it work with your husband. I think every relationship is salvageable. No, why don't you agree with that?
You don't think there's any no?
Hold on, your mic's off right now. He's fixing it. Why don't you agree with me?
Just some relationships are not, and if it's gonna be unhealthy, and your kids are gonna see you fighting or not getting along and not treating each other respectfully, it's better to be separated and they see both of their parents happy than to be together and raised in a toxic environment, and then they grow up and that cycle continues because they think that that's okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it's also on his end, I guess, too. He could have obviously made some changes. But here's a bad part about it. You've been divorced, you've been married, and now you'll never want to get married again. This guy maybe wanted to get married again, or if he hasn't been married, maybe he wanted to get married, and now he has to deal with your trauma, which is why we tell men not to date women with a lot of bodies, a lot of sexual partners, people who have kids, or women that have been married or divorced. Because
it's great because he doesn't want to either.
Yeah.
We've had this discussion. Perfect. Okay. It works.
Does he have children?
He does.
Oh, both of you guys have children.
But see, that's what I mean. It's like they have to find the perfect partner for it to fit. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. It's like you said, what if, I think she said it, or one of you guys said it, like, oh, well, what if he has kids and it's a perfect relationship? You're now just like Fanny, right? She's single, she's young. She can go into the dating market and pretty much date anybody. But you guys would have to go out there and look for because it's already hard to look for the right guy, right? But now you have to go out there and really look for the right guy, the needle in a haystack, because you're looking for the person who has kids, the person that doesn't want to get married, the person that,
Bring that back up, Fanny. Angel just became a member of the YouTube channel.
Shout out to Angel, man. Yeah, we get more of those.
Yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Shout out to you, Angel, man. Go ahead and drop your IG on there, man, so we can add you to the chat, brother.
But Eric, back to something you were saying.
What's up?
As far as when you're saying everything is salvageable in this society, I don't know if you guys have been seeing the domestic violence rates. You have men that are like killing their women. Like, people are snapping nowadays.
Yeah, so women are violent too, though.
It is.
Women
you're right.
hit their men
but
too. So
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But when men get violent or men get emotional, it's way different for how women do it. A woman will smash dishes. A man will kill his wife.
Bro. Yo, did you watch the episode 2 shows ago?
I did not. I'm sorry.
You did not? I told a girl to shut the fuck up because she cut us off the whole entire show. I'm talking about I gave her like 8 chances. And I'm telling her, hey, listen, stop cutting us off, or I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up. I'm literally warning her. This chick understood she's a woman and there's no consequences for her actions. She threw the microphone. She actually damaged one of the microphones and the headsets, got up from over there, rushed over here, met me right here, got in my face and said, oh, you think you're tough? You think you're tough?
Oh, I saw that episode.
She got in my face.
And I saw that episode.
And I said, respectfully, ma'am, if you touch me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
You did the right thing.
And I put my hands behind me just to let her know I'm not a threat. Because she's a woman. What is she gonna do, right? I've been punched before here. I've been spit on.
She could pull a gun out.
Nah, she ain't gonna do that. We were right here. I saw everything. The point is that women understand there's no consequences for what they do. There was
a whole social experiment that they did on YouTube where it showed.
But women have been getting knocked out.
Yes, can a woman get knocked out by a man's punch? 100%.
But did
Yeah,
you see the video
we're
in
stronger
Chicago?
than we're stronger than women.
You're talking about the one where she went and slapped dudes with her.
No, the one where it was a man. The woman did not put hands on him, but she got her son to shoot him. They were in an altercation in a restaurant, and the guy started wailing on her. She was just talking.
Wait, hold on.
Get out of here. Bring that up.
She
Bring
did not
that
put
up.
hands on him.
Video,
yeah,
bro.
pull up the video. While he pulls it up,
listen to how she's describing it, right?
That's not how it went down.
That's not how it went down. I saw that video. That's not how it went down.
She didn't put hands on him.
No. Listen, ladies, if you're gonna sit here and tell a tale, at least be honest about it.
Yeah,
that's not how it happened. Because when you put it like that, which is what women do, and listen, men attack physically. That's what we do. Women attack verbally, right? And the way that women do it is very, very, actually, to be honest, it's meticulous, bro. That shit is very, it's deceitful, it's conniving.
And the majority of men have been convinced that you guys want emotional men.
Correct.
A lot of women are saying, I want my man to be emotional. I want my man to be vulnerable.
Here's the thing.
That's what vulnerably emotional men do. Emotionally vulnerable.
Let me tell you what happened, right? So me and this lady, me and a girl, I'm recording. First of all, I record everything. If you're on here, there's cameras everywhere, and I record everything on my phones. You leave out of here like, oh, he did this. Well, I got the video, and I'm not necessarily worried about what people think about me. But if it goes to court, hey, Your Honor, here you go. Right? Like, stop wasting my fucking time. That's why. So this chick, when I followed her outside, I told her to leave the studio, and when we got out there, she started changing up a little bit. She was like, oh, why are you treating me like this? Blah 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 blah. And then she went home. And I think she went on her Instagram because she blocked me. I wasn't sure, but she was like, "Oh, he put his hands on me. He's a woman beater." So that's the way that women will attack you. They will go after your reputation. They don't care about hitting you.
Yeah.
They want to damage your reputation because guess what? As a man, it's hard to build a good reputation.
Yeah, like the most feminine women, they don't talk to men a certain way. Like they understand, and women, the way that women display aggression is through shame, insults, guilt, and the perpetual need to be right. Shouts out to the Godfather style. Kevin Samuels, he created that acronym. Shaming, insulting, guilting, and the perpetual need to be right. That's how a woman, she'll defamate your character.
Yeah.
And then with that social experiment I was talking about, it was two guys and a girl, and they went around the city, and first they did a man like being aggressive with the woman. Correct. Like, oh, why'd you call him? Why'd you text him? And people stopped immediately.
Yes.
People were stopping him as soon as they saw him put his hands on her. People came to her defense.
Correct.
And then they did it again with the girl being the aggressor, and she was hitting them. Oh, why'd you call her? Why'd you call her? Punching them. Nobody came to the defense. On the contrary, two guys pulled their phone out and started recording.
They recorded and they laughed. I'm talking about she's hitting him, she's pushing him, talking down on him. I'm talking about physically hitting him. And then people are walking by laughing like, oh, he's weak.
Yeah. Now, granted, our men, we're physically superior to women. Our bone density is thicker. Like, we're stronger than you guys biologically, of course. Facts. However, we can't ignore the fact that a lot of women use that, right? They know that you're not going to hit them. They know, they identify as like, you know what? He's a man, I'm a woman. I'm going to get in his face. I'm going to tell him what you're going to do. Hit me, I dare you. And then once you hit her, she knows that there's going to be a man to come and save her.
You think women, they know they will square up with a man and they'll be like, oh, I know he's not going to hit me.
Chelsea, yes.
Chelsea, Chelsea,
I've seen
Chelsea,
people do that.
Chelsea, it just happened here 2 days ago.
But you think she really thought in her mind? I saw the video. You really think she knew?
Yeah,
he ain't gonna hit me. He ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, why else? Why else? Listen, I've said this before on this show. If I could go up to a lion and smack it, and I knew that lion wasn't gonna do shit, I'd do that shit. Because why not?
But men,
hold on. Let me finish.
Chelsea,
let me finish.
Women know that men are strong.
Let me finish. She jumped up, got in my face. She knows. First of all, we're on camera. We're live, baby. We don't do that gay shit where all the other YouTubers, they film and edit their shit out and cut it out. No, we're live. Whatever happens here, happens here. It was organic. We don't script this shit. Everything that happens here is organic. I never tell any girl what to think, what to say, how to act. Whatever happens here, it was organic. Okay, so this girl got up in my face and she knew it's a lose-lose situation for this man. I can make him look like a bitch by getting in his face. He's not going to do shit. And then if he does something, he still loses because now he's going to jail. He's going to jail, baby. So you know what? Some girls are like, fuck it. I'll take a punch to put this nigga in jail. I'll take and listen, and you can sit here and act like, oh, you really think girls would do? Fuck yeah.
Man, I'm not that gangster.
As a matter of fact, women will actually do worse than that. Some women will hit dudes and say, what you gonna do about it? I mean, and this happens every day, and it's crazy because you're sitting here saying, oh, you know, the domestic, bro, there's always been domestic violence.
Yeah, but men are actually taking it further
since the start of time, since the start of life.
How are men taking it further?
Like a lot, these men are actually killing these women. The rates of mental illness within men, even after COVID, has skyrocketed. Like, even just watch the news. Like, daily on the news, you see a guy shooting his girlfriend.
These are the emotional men that you guys are begging for. Yeah, you guys are begging for emotional men. We're talking in general, like women in general, collectively, through society. Like, you guys are begging for emotional men.
Yeah.
I want my man to be emotional. I want him to be emotional. Like, no, like you don't want your men to be emotional. You don't want it because that's what emotional men do. Right. A lot of these boys that are killing each other are emotional boys with no sense of stoicism. They don't know how to control their emotions. They're not masters of them. A man who's a master of his emotions won't even raise his voice at a woman.
Why aren't you vulnerable? Why aren't you let me in? Why aren't you show me your feelings? Show me your bro. Listen, it's hard dealing with these women, man. We have women that come on here on drugs. They're drunk when they come on here. They're on pills. Some of these girls don't even value their own lives.
Yeah. You know how I know? You know how I know she knew what she was doing? Because during the show, she even said, I put a restraining order on the father of my children and didn't tell him, and I invited him over my house and then called police. That's red flag. Like, if you really think about it, like that's horrible.
Yeah, that's
that's devious. That's evil. You see what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what y'all's situation is, I mean, we just heard her side of the story. I don't know her, right? I met her here, but she literally got on here on live and said, I put a restraining order on the father of my children. I called him over to my house, didn't tell him, and then I called police so he'll get arrested. Damn, that's crazy.
And the crazy shit is, I've never seen a man do that to a woman in my whole entire fucking life. Men don't do that shit to women. And here's another thing: you want to cry about domestic violence? Men get domestic violence against men it goes unreported, right? Like,
isn't there more domestic violence amongst lesbian couples?
Yes.
Oh yes.
And there's no man involved in that.
Amazing.
So
that's like the highest.
Yeah. What's the explanation for that?
And even in that situation, going back to what you said, there was a situation when Bow Wow and his girlfriend got into an altercation, and he had scratches all over his face. Like, they both ended up going to jail. The internet clowned him. Oh, he's a bitch. Look what she did. So I understand why it goes unreported for men.
It's a lose-lose situation. It really is. You know, I tell women all the time because, and here's the thing, he has a point, right? You ladies are begging for these emotional dudes. You're begging, and you're like, no, not me, but your sisters are. Society is. These women want these, bro. I had an argument with a chick that said here the other day. She's like, "What's wrong with a dude that paints his nails? What's wrong with a dude that does this?" Like, yo, these dudes are becoming more feminine, and you guys love that shit. But then, for some reason, when something big happens, and this dude doesn't act masculine because you guys are taking it out of them, basically, right? Then you're like, "Oh, where's all the real men at?"
Yeah, that's actually a psychological thing too, bro.
Do you think that's by design?
There's this book called The Art of Seduction, and it named nine kinds of seducers, right? And one of the seducers is a man that's masculine, but he'll be like in shape and have masculine features, but he'll have some sense of feminine, maybe dress wear or something like that. Maybe like something like painting his nails or something. And it draws attention to women. That's why these guys like Henry Styles and Bad Bunny draw this attention. Prince, who was wearing high platform shoes, like he wasn't gay, but he gave the appearance of like almost like feminine. And it's a form of seduction. You know, for women. So it triggers something in your subconscious. It's like, oh, he's familiar. You know what I'm saying? Because women feel safe among other women. If you notice, when men, like when like these groups of like human traffickers, they use women to recruit other women, right? Because why? Because when you see a woman, you feel a sense of safety. So you're kind of like amplifying some sort of feminine energy to make women feel safe and familiar to you. So that's what they'll do. So it's a thing in your subconscious.
Yeah.
You know,
another thing too is this just made sense to me right now while we were saying is, you know, the gay guys, but I'm not talking about the gay guys who are very mature and quiet about it. I'm talking about the flamboyant real gay guys.
There's a guy that goes around pretending to be gay to get girls' numbers. I don't know if you guys seen that yet.
And those, you guys love those guys.
Yeah.
You love those guys. I mean, bro. And these are the guys that, you know, will be your besties. He's so gay in your mind, you'll get undressed in front of him. You'll sleep naked in front of him. And listen, maybe not you guys, because I did say this panel is different, but I'm talking about society, women out here. Oh, he's just I just get dressed in front of him because he likes guys. Come on, you really think? Yeah, he's a biological man at the end of the day. He's still a fucking guy.
To the strip club because gay men still admire women's bodies. They still think they're beautiful. They just don't want to. They're not sexually attracted to them.
You're tripping.
No, I'm not tripping.
What strip club? What?
I'm not tripping,
bro.
I'm not tripping.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that you. So what? So you've seen it. So what you're telling me is that you think that a gay man cannot be sexually attracted to a woman.
They can still admire them.
I'm not talking about admiring. I can fucking admire a grown, mature dude, but I'm talking about sexually being attracted to them. You're telling me that's not possible? It's stupid to say that.
Do you think gay people are born that way, or do you think they're it's a lifestyle choice?
I think it could be a bit of both. No,
it's either or. You know.
No,
I think that's the nature versus nurture discussion where that jumps in.
But wanted to kind of go into your point when you asked as far as, now this is going to go a little deep now, as far as is a biological man can still be attracted to a woman? Like, can a gay man, do we think a gay man will still not be attracted to a woman? But don't you feel the same way a grown man knows not to be attracted to a little girl? Like, don't you feel like that concept can still go into a gay man's head? Like,
well, a man being attracted to a little girl is a sickness.
Yeah,
that's a disorder. It's not a sexual preference. It's not like, oh well, I prefer little girls or little boys. It's like, no, you're fucking sick.
Yeah.
You know, it's and even today they're trying to convince people that it is a sexual preference.
I saw that.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a good.
At.
No, I mean, I think homosexuality is a mental disorder also.
Right. Okay.
You know, I don't think that they're born that way.
And that's a really good point that you just made. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it started out with gay people, and then it went to lesbians, right? And they wanted to have the right to marry. And then you got the drag queens, you got the trans coming out, and now all of a sudden it's like the final stage. They're saying that if you're attracted to kids, it's no longer pedophilia anymore. It's just a condition. It's a preference. Think about that for a second. We've come so far in society where now if you're attracted to kids, it's not a bad thing anymore.
Oh, how deep we have fallen.
Damn, bro.
Red flag.
Yeah. No,
that's
seriously.
Crazy.
Yeah. And there, that's why I advocate against pornography. That's why I advocate against looking at women on Instagram, because it starts off with that. If you think about it, 100 years ago, right? 1920s, swimsuit models of today were Playboy. That was porn back then. Now it's considered soft porn, right? So it started off with porn being a woman in a swimsuit, then topless, then fully nude. Now they're having porn, like they're having sex on camera. Now they have all types of categories amongst porn, right? Next thing you know, you have the teenage porn, like it's like they're 18. I think they call it barely legal. Like really, if you guys look at the most searched porn categories, I think one of them is barely legal, which is the 18-year-old women, which in my opinion are still like teenagers. That's 18. And then the other one is stepmom, and then the other one is stepsister or stepbrother. So if you really think about it, it's going from porn to pedophilia to incest. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what they're looking for. They're looking for siblings. They're not looking for step siblings. They just put step to make it a bit more acceptable, a bit more comfortable for them to search it. Right. When in reality, they're pretty much promoting incest.
It is strange.
You know?
It's conditionalizing the
Right.
fact
It
that your
is.
clickbait
It's
is saying that a
desensitizing
stepsister.
us.
Yeah.
And then you go on Instagram, you see, you know, the average guy's explore page, it's like nothing but ass.
Mhm.
And that's porn also.
Yep.
You know?
All right, let's power up my man real quick, man. David Jones. Shout out to him. He says, ladies, would you let your daughter date Andrew Tate? Let's go around the table. Would you let your daughter date Andrew Tate? Yes or no?
Let leaves kind of an open definition. I wouldn't control who my daughter would date. Would I advocate for her dating him? I wouldn't have an issue because he's successful. I may not care for him, but I don't think that he'd be bad for her. So I can't say that I'd have an issue.
Okay, fair enough. What about you over here?
My children are minors. No.
Do me a favor. Either turn her up, bro, or have her move in, please. Yeah,
My
so we can
children
hear.
are minors. No.
Oh, yeah, but hypothetically, ladies. God damn it, bro.
I was about to say, well, I don't have kids.
Ladies,
Yeah, hypothetical
the fact
situation.
that how old is your daughter?
11 and 8.
Do you think I would ask you to? Okay.
I mean, if they was like 18,
yeah, but
19.
come on, like this isn't rocket science, man. If they were of age, your daughter, if she was of age, would you be okay with her? Like, obviously at 18 they can do whatever they want, right? And first of all, I don't like that saying. Oh, at 18 you can fuck that.
No.
They still need
Fuck
guidance.
Absolutely not.
That
Yeah,
at
they still need
18 you're
guidance.
still under my
Yeah.
fucking guidance. I have a daughter, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
If
at
you're not
18,
married, you're still
Yeah,
under my
yeah.
yeah.
And here's the thing, though. But
Mhm.
women hate that because
Yeah.
you're controlling.
They hate
You're manipulating her.
No,
But you're why are you grooming her?
No, that's
right?
that's the trick. That's what's making guys emotional. Like we're listening to women at this point. Like men lead. They forgot that they lead. My daughter is under my authority
Mhm.
until I hand her to a man that I see suitable as a man in marriage. Like,
Yeah.
hey, look, now she's your responsibility. I walk her down the aisle. You're responsible for her safety and you're responsible for her care at
Correct.
this point.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with manipulating, controlling. You're trying to overpower your daughter. Women aren't cattle. Like I had a woman tell me one time, so you're telling me we should go back, to when they used to trade women for cows and goats.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
That's one of the most like
Yo,
lack of it, when a man brought 2 goats and a fucking cow to a man and said, I want to marry your daughter. He was saying, look what I have. I can take care of her. I have possessions. I have a home. You can feel comfortable handing over the responsibility of your daughter to me. And he brought that as a sign of respect.
It's a dowry.
yeah.
As a sign
you
of
want to
respect.
you want to know what's really rich about this whole thing, though? The women that say that we're wrong for that, they don't have fucking fathers.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like to have a father to care for them and protect for them. And they're they've had single mothers, and the single mothers sit here and tell them, you don't need a fucking man, don't depend on a man and shit.
Mhm.
And it's like, bro, it's like the total opposite of what you should be telling women. It's ridiculous. Real quick, short and concise. What about you, Fanny? Would you let your daughter, if she was of age, obviously, would you be okay if she dated Andrew Tate?
Yeah,
You would? Okay. Why so?
because he's
Turn her
already-
up, bro.
He's already there, so I would expect, especially if she's like 18, 19, around a young age, I would say yes, so she can level up.
Even now that he's 34 years old, you'd be okay with that?
Of course.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. What about you?
No, because I want him all to myself.
Ooh.
Damn, girl, imagine. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right?
Really? That's interesting. Okay. What about you
What's
over there?
interesting is that you're engaged and you're saying I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
Hold me accountable, Hector. I respect that.
Wait,
Chelsea, I mean,
We're speaking hypothetical, though.
yeah,
Hypotheticals.
true, but I don't think you should even hypothetically be thinking about another man. I'm keeping honest with you.
You can be on a diet and still look at the menu. I'm gauge. I ain't blind.
I disagree. We actually had this conversation yesterday. I'm gonna let you answer and I'll bring it up about
what?
love and lust.
Yeah. I think before you go, I think Andrew has something to say to you.
What would he say?
Haram!
Haram.
What does that mean?
You don't know what that means?
No, I don't.
You think it's a positive thing?
It sounds negative, though.
Okay.
What
fair
does
enough.
haram mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah. Look. Can you look that up, Steve, please?
Okay.
Haram?
Yeah, look it up, bro. Okay. I have an idea what it means, but
I think like abomination or sin or something.
Yes, it's
right?
kind of like, like that's it's like blasphemy or some shit like that.
Forbidden
Forbidden,
or
right? Yeah.
unlawful.
Forbidden, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what's funny? When I read the word haram, I hear that sound.
yeah. Haram. Okay. Real quick. What about you?
I would, but can I ask Christy a question?
Sure.
Crystal.
Sorry, Crystal.
It's close.
When you said that you think that the marriage failed and you never want to get married again, did you lose faith in marriage as an institution? Because, you know, if you love your current boyfriend,
Absolutely.
Why?
Marriage is set up by the government. Why should the
I
government
mean,
come into
there's
your
also-
relationship?
I mean, marriage is also a blessing from God to unionize two people.
Yes, but if you think about it, way back when, did they have paperwork involved? No.
So you
People
don't.
got married because that was an agreement that they had among each
Is it
other and their
because-
families.
Mhm. Is it because you're scared to combine your finances with a man again, or the house, or your properties, or your assets, or anything like that?
Not those things. No. It's just a personal decision because it went so south, and so I kind of mentioned it on my first one. I don't really want to again.
No, yeah, of course. I was just.
But I just don't even want to have the chance of that even happening again. I think it's either easier to just say, hey, this isn't working for us. You go your way, I go my way. And if you find somebody that you both agree, then why not? And also, before paperwork existed and before all of that, marriage is a mindset.
Mhm.
Marriage is something that you act like a husband or you act like a wife because that's what you want. You don't need the paperwork for it.
True, but you guys both also have kids. Do you love his kids and does he love yours? Let's just say, God forbid, one of them has to go in an ambulance. By marriage, you're not his stepmother, so you can't go in an ambulance with him. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Mhm.
So would you want that power and that authority as a mother figure for his children and the other way around?
I mean, they have their mom for that. Would I go and be at the hospital to check on the child and make sure that things are going well or progressing in, a positive light? Absolutely. But they have a mother that's active in their life, that there's certain things that even me as a mother, I wouldn't want taken away from me, because my goal is not to be their mother, but I can be a positive figure in their life.
What's more positive of a figure in a child's life than his mother or her father?
Nothing. God.
Yeah, so if you're joining this man, like, don't you think that it'd be in the children's best interest, if you truly love them, to be a mother?
Of course.
Although they already have a mother, but
Of
don't you
course.
think that the representation of a mother should still be there when they're...
Yes, of course. When they come to my house and they're there hanging out with my kids, they're included in everything we do.
So why did you say that
Everything we do.
your intentions weren't to be a mother?
Well,
To them.
I'm not their mom. I'm not going to take the place of their mother.
Not take the place, but what I mean is, like, for example, you're together with this man, right?
Mhm.
Do you guys live together?
No.
No, you don't. Okay, so you guys are just boyfriend and girl. You guys are just dating.
We've talked about moving in,
That's
but
interesting.
Red
Yeah.
flag.
How long have you been with him?
a year.
A year.
He's your same age?
He's 3 years younger.
Yo, there's no way I'm dating a girl for a year and she's not living with me, bro.
You guys don't live together?
There's no way.
No, we don't live together at the moment.
There's no way.
And
You
I
know what
don't
you're
wanna-
doing? You want to know what I think you're doing? I think you both are filling in each other's gaps, right? I think, especially now at the age that you are, I think maybe you probably appreciate his company, but a year in, if he hasn't moved you in, that's a big red flag. When I meet a woman, I've had 4 serious relationships. When I meet a woman that I'm really intentional about, I'm thinking moving in within the first 2 weeks.
Oh, that's real soon.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right?
Damn.
Intentional, right? The problem is people are just casually dating nowadays.
Yeah.
You're just casually dating someone for a year, and he might ask me to move in after a year. After 2 years, hopefully he asks me to get married. Like, bro, where's the intent? Like, when you get in your car, you're intentional, right? You know you have a destination. People are just driving. What the fuck?
You grew up with your father and your mother. Yeah, since you were little. Are you the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest, and you're 20 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, this young lady brought up a real good point. Like, where are you from?
I was born here.
Your family, Vietnam.
But my father's Indonesian and Mongolian, and my mother is Romanian.
Okay. Are you guys like Catholic?
Christian.
Like Orthodox, unorthodox? Is it some sort of denomination or just
Evangelical?
You guys go to church every Sunday, like very close-knit family, Bible studies type?
We used to, but I've been in a relationship for the past 3 years, so now I go with him.
Oh, okay. Are you guys married?
No, not
Why?
yet, but we went looking for rings a couple of days ago. Like, he wanted to see which one I liked, so it's coming soon.
Why 3 years?
Because he wanted to graduate college, and he didn't want to propose to me until he knew that he could provide a life for me where I'm a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she's right about it being a union under God. Like, it's not just, government being involved. So, I mean, you're right too. Yeah, back then the government wasn't involved. However, it was a union under God. You see what I'm saying? So it just doesn't make sense that you and your boyfriend are together if you guys both have children. Like, if there's no intentions, like, it's got to be intentional. Like, I tell guys, like, you got to date with intentions, and ladies, you got to date with intentions. Like, you can't just be sleeping around with men. And same thing for the men. Like, you can't just be sleeping around with women. Like, you got to, like, okay, she's the one. Let me go ahead and court her, right? I'm going to vet her, and I'm going to date with intentions of marrying. And men, we know real quick, 2 weeks is not soon. Like, that's not soon at all to at least have the thought of wanting to move her in. Yeah. Is it too soon to move her in? Perhaps, it depends. It depends on the man. But as far as 2 weeks, like, yeah, no, we already know what we think of you. Like, we already spent see, men, we fall in love with time, right? So the more time we spend with that woman, the more we begin to fall in love with her, right? So again, like I told you guys earlier, 30 days, we're falling in love. 60, we fell in love. 90 days, there's no doubt in our mind that we're in love with her. 120 and up, like, we're already like, damn, you're like, I want to spend the rest of my life with her. There's a man who's not ready to commit who won't do it. Yeah. But the feelings are there. What you want is there. Your intentions are there. So it's just odd that, two red flags that I got from what you said is, number one was the whole, I'm not ready to be I don't want to be their mother. But it's red flag. You have children, so if you guys are about to take serious racing, because you guys are not young. You're 39 and you said 3 years younger, 36? 37. Okay, so he's still relative. How many kids does he have? Two. So he's still relatively young in the sexual marketplace, right? You 39, it's like, you gotta go. Yeah, you're already, yeah, for real. No, I mean, women, ladies, your biological clock ticks faster than a man's biological clock. That's facts. You see what I'm saying? Especially a man who, now, can you slow down the clock? Yeah, you can, 100%. But it doesn't work the same because you said 3 kids?
No, 2.
2 kids. He has 2 kids. Yeah. Like, if you guys aren't dating with intentions, I mean, at this point, you guys are just having sex with each other.
And I just said
what
that.
I'm saying?
You're filling in gaps.
Yeah, it's like you're filling voids at that point.
Also, Christy, from a kid's perspective, it really does matter when the parents are married. My biological mom passed away when I was really young, and then my mom came into the picture, and she married my dad and ended up doing a step-parent adoption for me, and that really meant a lot, knowing that she is with my dad. She's not going anywhere. It was like a reassurance, and I got to see their marriage and then mirror mine the same way. It's really important to children.
No, that's good that you had that foundation. I did not. My father died when I was 9, and my mom always had, men were more important than her kids.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So, even when no, I don't make the violin. Okay, but I think that that's a beautiful thing. Now, if my mother's priorities were different and she was able to do that, I think that me and my sisters probably would have been different, even in our mindsets as adults too, because a lot of the way we are, molded and raised as kids affects how we are as adults. And that's a fact.
Do you think that you have a negative outlook or perspective on marriage because you've never really lived through or seen a really good marriage blossom? Because, like you said, your mom didn't have one, and then you didn't have a good marriage.
I've seen it with other family members. So I know that it exists and that it's possible. But that's been my own personal decision. I don't want to get married again.
Okay.
Okay.
I have something to say real quick. So you ladies laughed when I said 2 weeks in, right? But here's the thing. I think that a woman, like a real guy like that, he's intentional. A woman will notice. And this is how I know I'm speaking facts, because when I said this, you all laughed. So it gives me the impression that none of you guys have had a guy come in 2 weeks in and say, yo, I'm intentional about you. Right? Because you wouldn't be laughing, because you'd be like, yo, that's true. I remember Kevin came to me, I'm just making up a name. Kevin came to me and he was the same way 2 weeks in, because a woman's supposed to follow the man's lead.
But you got to be a certain kind of woman to experience that.
Yeah.
Like a man who's on his purpose, well seasoned, he knows a good woman when he sees her, and he will not let her go.
Yep.
Like he will hold on. He will do anything for her to be his. And it's going to continue that way. So if it's moving her in 2 weeks, or telling her, hey, look, I'm going to marry you by the end of this year, or hey, let's start planning a date, or hey, look, I'm about to go look for a ring. Like it's things that you like, the woman will know. Like when a man is committed and he knows, like, yo, no, I'm not willing to lose her. I'm not willing to give her up. She's mine. He'll tell you, like he'll show you with his actions. Like, and if he doesn't, it's because he doesn't have that intention with you. Like I'm sure you guys have all heard of these uncles or cousins or, family members, or even just people in the neighborhood that they go together for 15 years. And then they're like, I mean, fuck it, let's might as well go ahead and get married. And then, then they divorce a year later, versus these people who met each other and then got married within that same year. And they're like together forever. I mean, it's about intentions. So if your intentions are to be married, right? Even though you say you don't want to be married, but I think it's because of a bad experience with your first marriage, and maybe because you didn't see, good marriages in growing up, you think that it was the marriage. But you got to understand that every relationship has three people. There's a you, there's an I, and then there's an us. I have to work on myself. You have to work on yourself, and we have to work on each other as a couple. So it's three entities in one, right? Because if I'm not 100% and you're not 100%, we're going to be constantly trying to fill each other's cups. You see what I'm saying? Like I need wings and you need wings so we can fly. If I have one wing and you have one wing and we just hold hands and jump off a cliff, like we're not going to go high. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be flapping my wing as hard as I can to make up for this swing. And you're going to be flapping your wing as hard as you can for make up for your wing. And we're just going to fall. Yeah. It's going to be a slow fall, but we're going to be descending rather than I have my wings, you have yours. And it's like, yo, let's get together, hold hands, and let's fly as high as we can. You see what I'm saying? So you also got to understand, like, you got to make it very clear, like, hey, look, I'm dating to be together in a in a long-term relationship. I want to be married. I have children. You have children. We're adults. We don't have time to play around. You know, like, what are we showing these kids? Because to me, at the end of the day, it's all about the babies. Yeah. It's all about the babies. So if you didn't work out when your first relationship, you guys weren't ready, you were too young or whatever, cool. But if I'm going to move into another relationship, it's got to be intentional, because what's fucking up these kids, what's over-sexualizing these young girls, and what's over-sexualizing the young girls, and what's making these young men hyper emotional is the fact that there's no core foundation between a man and a woman in order to raise the children properly. This is how a man is supposed to treat you. This is how a woman's supposed to treat you, and this is how they treat each other. Interesting. Yeah, and that's another point too. Let's get to the super chats, man. But that's another point too right there, that women aren't being taught how to treat men. Because here's the thing, right? That chick that got up right here, think about it for a second. I sit here every single show. She's over there. She gets up from there, walks all the way around here to meet me here. That's not how you treat a man, bro. Like, and I said this. She's gonna run into the wrong one. And she's gonna do it to the wrong one, and then she's gonna come over here crying, saying, "But men are hitting women." Yo, you never put up that video too that we were asking you about, Steve. And then let's get to the super chats real quick. But let's go ahead and power up my man Basil, man. Shout out to Basil. He says, "I need that merch. Crystal was taken. Damn it. What qualities and traits do y'all women have? Your man give you a ring?" Okay. I guess he's trying to say, like, what qualities do you ladies possess in order to make your man give you a ring?
Correct. And he says, shout out to the chat, man. Okay, cool. So what qualities do you have? We'll go around real quick, short and concise. What qualities do you have?
I'm an extremely hard worker, and I go beyond my means to be able to provide for my family, whether that be by myself or as a unit. And I'm also very compassionate and generous to my significant other.
Okay, I'll come back to that one real quick because you said some shit right there. I'll come back to that. What about you? What do you have?
I'm respectful. I like to definitely not do what that girl did. And I do like to have very good communication among each other. That's very important.
Okay, fair enough. What about you? What do you have?
I will go back to her point as far as communication skills, support, softness,
Stop the cap.
respect. Number one.
What about?
I cook really good as well.
Did you said respect?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, okay. What about loyalty?
That I was getting to that as well.
Loyalty as well.
Like an
That was like
umbrella, no?
yes,
Okay,
loyalty,
all right.
like softness, loyalty.
What about
supporting.
honor?
Isn't that under loyalty as well?
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
all
But
umbrella.
the reason why I'm naming them is because I would say you broke that one not too long ago here on
The
this
Andrew
show.
Tate comment.
Yeah.
I was
And-
being
yeah.
facetious.
Okay.
I was being facetious.
Okay, now-
This was in the land of possibilities.
Okay. Now I will say this. You know, women kind of joke around like this, and it's fine maybe between you guys, but I didn't notice it. He did. But the reason why is because I have a lot of stuff that I'm trying to keep track of. But as your man, I'm not gonna lie to you, we'd have a serious conversation when you got home.
And it's only because we're on live.
Right
now, if ladies, like, because we got the men's locker room, right? We talk shit. Men talk shit. Barbershop talk. Ladies, you guys have your spa talk. You know, oh, he fine as fuck, right? You know, whatever. But we're live. Like, you're a representation of your man back home right now. You know, the same way that I'm a representation of my woman. Like, I have to carry myself a certain way in order to represent her right, you know, because it's both ways. Like, we represent each other as men and women. So, for example, like, let's say he watches that, it's like, damn,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that.
So it was a distasteful joke.
I would say that if you were my woman, yeah, I'd find it quite distasteful. You know, that's all. Now, do people make mistakes? Sure, but it's like little things like that show like the lack of respect. You know what I mean? Because you got to think, like, you know, when you leave your home, it's just like, for example, when you tell your children, I know you don't have children, but when you tell your children, it's like, hey, don't be out there embarrassing me. It's the same thing, you know, if not even
it's
more.
even worse.
Yeah, it's even worse because it trickles down, you know, it's like your man, you, and then your children. So yeah, your children, don't embarrass me, but it's like my wife. She knows better. She knows that we're connected. You see what I'm saying?
Not only that, but the way you react, like that right there, men can sit here and be like, oh, I already know that's a weak dude. You know what I mean? I already know. And some dudes won't do business with your man because of the way you act or what you say. And here's another thing. He said, oh, because we're in, you know, on live, on camera. I would say I wouldn't even want my girl to say that off camera. Now, I mean, obviously I'd prefer her to do it off camera than on camera, but I wouldn't want her to do it at all, because even if you're joking around friends, what I've noticed is, you know, you and her could be cool today, tomorrow you're not. She's spreading rumors about us. It's just, I would say just don't do it at all. I would just say don't do it at all. Okay, what about you? What traits do you have?
I love to cook. I cook all the time. We try not to eat out. I love to clean. I clean every single day. I really want to have a lot of kids. I try to mirror what a Proverbs 31 woman should be like. I try to base our relationship off of the Bible, so that's our foundation. I'm very supportive of him emotionally. I try to do my best. And I know at the end of the day that he is my second priority. God's first, obviously, but he's my second priority. He comes before my job. He comes before any side hustles I might be doing. He comes before literally everything. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're always a great guest, man. When we have like those ratchet girls, you and them, those interactions are super funny. Shout out to you.
Proverbs 31.
Yeah.
You know, God is my first priority. My husband is my second priority. Like, and there's going to be a lot of women out there. She's a pick me. She's a pick me.
Mrs. Pick Me right
It's
now.
like,
I mean, I just think
but
that
she's for real. Though.
She's
Yeah.
she's
Like,
for real.
how
She's
you pick me
certified.
if you gotten picked?
I just think that a
my
pick
point.
me
the
is
traits, like the character traits of a woman who's willing to, you know, prioritize marriage. They call those pick
Pygmies.
Yeah.
But what a pick me is a woman who does something against her self-interest to get a man, but being traditional and being godly and loving your man and being submissive to your man, that is actually in your favor. Whatever the world is telling you to do is not in your favor, and you're not going to end up happy. So I honestly don't think I'm a pick me. I think that I'm just doing what's in my favor at the end of the day as God intended.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Kyria.
Yeah, Kyria. No, I agree with you 100%. But what I'm saying is that the masses are going to refer to you as that because of what you said.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
But like you're on, like, you know what I mean? I'm surprised you're not married. I'm surprised he hasn't married you yet. You know,
red flag. Yeah. Okay, let's power my man D Fritzel too, man. He says an emotional is dangerous. I think he meant an emotional man as a dangerous man. Yes, when his emotions aren't in check, bad things will happen. Okay, shout out to my man D Fritzel, man. Okay, we have another one. Let's go ahead and power him up again, man. David Jones coming in. He says, should a wife keep a diary? If so, should the husband read it? That's actually a pretty good question right there. Who says yes to him reading the diary? You do? Okay. Who says no? Clearly everybody else that didn't raise your hand, right?
I don't think she should have a diary though.
Okay.
Like if she, 10? Yeah. What is that? I don't think she should have one.
Ladies.
I think that, you know, I mean, I have a journal. I journal my thoughts every morning, you know. So journal diary, like it's the same.
What's in it? You know, like what is she logging? You know, thought processes.
Well, yeah,
you know?
I mean, you got to understand. Like again, like I told you earlier, it's like you, me, us. You see, like I think that you need to write your feelings. You need to write what you feel. You know what I mean? Especially men, like we need to write what we're going through, what we're feeling, what we're planning. You know, you got to have different journals for different things. And I think women need to also. So it's like, what if you are feeling some type of way about something? Like, damn, I've been having these thoughts, you know, but I love my husband. I don't know why like she's venting to herself almost, you know, she's learning herself.
But why keep it? Like,
what do you mean?
Because if he's gonna read it, why not just speak to him about it?
Because I get it. I understand where you're coming from, but it's because some things are private. You know, again, you got to work on yourself by yourself. You, me, us. It's three different entities. You know, there's a you have to work on yourself in your alone time. I have to work on myself on my alone time. And then we have to work with each other for us. You see what I'm saying? It's three different things. It's me, you, us. Like, that's why it's not in a man's best interest or a woman's best interest to get into a relationship if they have some sort of things that they're going through internally. You know what I mean? So if I'm not a master of my emotions, I might be getting into a relationship and she might be able to trigger me out of character, or vice versa. She's not completely in, you know, over something or whatever, right? It could be anything. And then she might trigger me I might trigger her or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like working on yourself. With the diary, you're at least expressing what you feel and figuring out why you feel that way. What's making you think these things? And it doesn't always necessarily have to be anything bad. You could be just telling, you know, reminding yourself how much you love your husband. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you notice, like when they have like couples therapy, what will they do? They're always like, let me list all the good things and all the bad things, right? So I'm gonna list all the good things that I love about my husband or I love about my wife, and I'm gonna list the things that I kind of dislike about them. You know, and you compare, like, okay, can I get over this? Can I get over that? Can I get over this? Is this worth more? Is that worth more? You know, can I ignore this? Or what does this make me feel? When he does this, what does this make me feel like? So I think that is very important for a woman and a man to express themselves alone. And then if it's like, you know what, baby, I've been writing about us and how I've been feeling about us, and this is what it is. But you already digested it. You already understood why you feel that way, you know?
Right.
But again, do you guys think that he should be able to read it, or do you guys think that it's a private thing and then you should tell him?
So I wanted to touch on that because I have a journal. I'm very big in journalism and I document my thoughts, my feelings all the time. So part of that derives from the fact that my job, I'm an operations manager. So I'm in a notebook or I'm in a spreadsheet or something every day. So all I do is document, articulate workflows, whatnot. So to kind of touch on your question too, as well as if a woman has something to say, why not just discuss it with her man? So one of the big fundamental things I found in using my journal is that a lot of your thoughts, a lot of your feelings, potential arguments or discussions are temporary. So when I write this and I have everything dated, a lot of it either composes both of self-resolution and self-reflection. So I can read something and look at it the next day and realize how temporary that was and be happy that I didn't create a 15-minute argument over it when I could have just wrote it down and moved on from it. That also teaches me self-reflection when I look at things that I wrote down in January and realize in this day today, why would I ever think that? Why would I feel that? Why would I have created a problem from that?
Yeah.
So for me, that's a big aspect of my growth within myself, and also learning to pick my battles and actually kind of dig deeper into issues that I'm finding either within myself or within my relationship. And if I do find they are important enough to speak on, then I will bring it to my relationship. However, a lot of our thoughts, and when we pester in our minds, sometimes we go to our girls for that, we go to our homegirls, or we go to our friends, then they create narratives and then they give you opinions, and then that amplifies the situation. And now you're going to your man mad.
Yeah.
When in reality, I can write it in my notebook, think about it for a couple of minutes, realize how irrational it is, and move on.
And I think you couldn't have said that any better.
Right. I'm gonna start journaling when I go home.
You see? And you went from what? We're in elementary school to understanding how important it is. And I would say that you're probably very organized too, because people that write stuff down, man, it's just like they almost plan shit out. And here's another thing too. I would rather my girl go to a journal than to her friends. I would rather my girl write it down. Yeah.
Especially if they're single.
Also, here's another thing too. When you write things down, you can, like, let's say you're writing stuff down, your man's coming home from work. Well, when he gets home, you can really kind of break down what you were upset at rather than just feeling what you feel right now. And then what happens is, like, let's say he gets home and you didn't write it down. You're upset with him about this, but you never cover like the other 10 things. And then the next argument, now you're going to be like, yeah, but I've been mad about this since forever. I just never said anything about it.
And it's bottled up in an impulsive reaction.
Huge fucking argument.
Dating thing, what you think is very important too, for self-reflection. Because I realized what I wrote 2 years ago, it's like, I don't feel that way anymore. You know, it's like different feelings, different emotions, different way of coping with the emotions. So, you know, journaling is very important, I think, for both men and women. And then I would even argue that maybe have a journal together.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
To really.
That would be dope. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, guys, make sure you guys like the video, man. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. All the new viewers, man, we appreciate you guys coming through. We have another super chat, man. Let's go ahead and power him up real quick. It's Repo. He says the new merch looks fire. Don't sleep and get yours before they're sold out. Yeah, man. Shout out to Repo, man. We do sell out really quick, guys. So this order, we placed a huge order, man. We have a whole bunch of merch upstairs, but we typically do sell out within the first 5 to 6 days, man. So really excited for that. We appreciate your support, guys. And we already actually had pre-orders too on top of that. If you guys have any questions you want to ask the ladies or any topics you want us to cover, go ahead and super chat that in as well. I do have a question for the ladies now. Does anyone else have anything to add on that, what we just talked about?
We still never brought up that video. I do want to touch on domestic violence.
Okay.
When is it okay to call police?
Okay. We'll touch on that
stuff. Yeah.
I'll bring up the video. What's the guys? Let me know.
I was gonna say, because if he searches like, you know,
Chicago,
it's gonna be like a whole bunch of videos,
different things.
But if I'm not mistaken, what happened? Okay, if I'm not mistaken, if we're talking about the right one, what I saw was a man and a woman were going at it. It looked like they were at a fucking a Kenny's in a corner buying some chicken wings.
Who?
A Kenny's or some weird,
some chicken,
you know, some Asian spot where you know food is like $4.
What is Kenny's though?
It's like
what is
Baltimore? So in Baltimore we have. It's funny because like it's Asian owned, but they have like American names.
So it's like fried chicken.
It's like Asian food. Like you go in there, you get like shrimp fried rice and you know, popcorn shrimp, or you know, just like
and it was in Chicago, right? You said
it was in Chicago.
Because
you said Kenny's, like they're everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, but what I'm saying is, and it looked like there was a right there, that one right there, the third one, yes, right there. And make sure we don't get copyrighted on this, man. But yeah, essentially, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and pop it up, man. Let's do the video because
fair use.
Yeah, look at that.
Fair use.
Okay, pause it. Okay, fair use. Number one, and you guys won't pay attention to these details.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: you only see what you see here. You don't know what transpired before this, and already I can tell he's saying, "Lady, get your food and get the fuck out of my face," right? And here's the thing, right?
Rewind it, please, for me, bro, and make the screen big for us.
Did you see his body language?
Yes,
too?
yes,
He
but
already
again,
had his hand kind of closed down on his side.
But here you have a woman that clearly doesn't understand that some guys don't have self-restraint. They're not gonna hold back. Okay, and also too, what a lot of women don't understand is it's hard being a man. You might be that last straw. Right, like, yo, all this shit I go through, I have a hard life even today, right? But that girl could have came to me and I would be like, you know what, bro, I've been going through it. I just lost my sister. I'm going through this and that, and you get in my face. I needed to release. Come in, right? Get over here, right? So that's what women don't understand when they go up to men and they do this stupid shit. They don't understand this dude could really hurt me. It's almost like they go up to a guy and they see this invisible shield, right? Like, you know, when you go to prison and you visit like a loved one, there's like a fucking window there. Like, it's almost like they see it that way. But already I can tell this dude is warning her. Yo, lady, get your food. I'm not saying whatever happened. I'm not saying it was okay. But what I'm saying is he's already telling her, listen, man, get your food. Get out of here.
Yeah, look at his body language. He's just... I don't play a little more. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Right there.
Okay.
Look how he bites his lip. He's like,
hold on. Pause it, bro. Look. Hold on, ladies. Look at me. Body language is key.
True.
Look at him. He balled fist. Then he's like, yo, lady. Hold on. Let me finish. So he's balling his fist. Body language is huge. He's balling his fist. He's already pissed, but he's trying to control himself. He's saying, lady, right? Look at his hand movement. He goes from a balled fist to open hand saying, lady, calm down. Let's go ahead and watch the video, bro. Fair use. Go ahead. He's saying,
on my grandma, right?
There you go.
Right. But
okay.
what happened
All right.
at
Pause.
the end of the video?
Okay. Here's the thing. And listen, man, I'm not saying what he did was right. Okay. But he's saying, if you say, ladies, why do you do this? You came on here saying, "Oh, did you see this?" And I'm not saying you're saying it was right or not. But what I'm saying is, there's so much that transpired there. It happened right before everything happened. He's warning her multiple times. He even says, "If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out." And then she said one more thing. And he swung, and then he stopped again, literally, and it was fast. He says, "Say something again." She says something again, and it's like, listen, again, I'm not saying it was right, but when you're instigating some shit like that, bro, some guy, bro, you don't know what these good. Yo, I have a daughter. I would never tell my daughter to argue with a dude, to fight a dude, to disrespect a dude, to put her hands on a dude, because he might do some shit like that, or he might shoot her. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think both of them are facing homicide or
no, they were released because it was her son. It was her son that shot him, and they both were released. It was self-defense.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the charge was manslaughter.
It was manslaughter first, and then the charges were dropped.
Now here's the crazy part about it, right? That's a kid. What the fuck is he doing with a gun?
How old was
he? Right?
Chicago.
But think about it like this, and this is what happens in the justice system is so fucked up. So many people were outraged that they were in jail. They said, "Fuck it, we don't want to deal with this shit. Let's let them free." You at the end of the day, she should be charged. Your son has a fucking gun.
But it was her
he
gun,
underage?
It was her gun, and she told him because
it doesn't matter.
But she saw the situation.
She should have the gun, not him. You see how she's always
how old is the kid?
Listen, women
he was
are
like 13.
Ladies,
I don't agree.
Ladies, you're always trying to make excuses and justifications for things.
Yeah,
he's a child.
I just wanted to know. I've never even seen
him.
him.
I'm gonna just say this because as I have a background in firearms, right, and I have went shooting with children. So firearm, you have families that do teach their children about firearms.
Sure, yes.
Now, do I think again? This is Chicago. The situation seems a little sketchy.
Yeah,
I do believe she should have had the firearm. However, overall, what I'm saying is that as emotional as the man is, he should have had restraint because again, he didn't know what was going to happen. Was that her arguing with him? Did that should have costed him his life?
Chelsea,
he had two daughters. He left.
Look, is that man disgusting for hitting that woman? Yes.
Okay.
However, this is the thing. women should stop provoking men because men are capable of violence.
Yes.
Women, you guys aren't capable of violence to the same degree. Granted, he lost his life and left 2 daughters. He should have more self-control, right? However, that woman, being an older woman, should have said, I'm not going to sit here and argue with this man, especially realizing that he's willing to sit here and argue with this man. Men who control their emotions don't even argue with women.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and give you the time of day. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Let me go about my business. Right? She should have understood that, but no, it's because women are incentivized into thinking that you can sit there and argue back and forth with a man, because what are you gonna do? Luckily that, it was a situation like that, and her son, which really, she should get charged. It's like, come on, your son is 13 years old, and now he murdered a guy. Granted, it was self-defense, but he murdered a man at 13 years old. Was that his age? 13?
Yeah. He was like 13. He was.
And think about what happens now for the rest of his life.
Right.
Think about what happened. And listen, again, we can only go off what we see, and this is social media is amazing at making men look. Again, I don't agree with the dude what he did, but yo, listen, what do you gain as a woman arguing with a man?
But
Absolutely.
What
do you see how you bypass my question? Because it's almost like you just want to get to like another destination. I'm trying to be unbiased here. I don't know the guy, I don't know the woman. But what I'm saying is, from a man's perspective, I don't see any win for you arguing with a man. Especially if you don't know. It's different if you're arguing with your brother, your father, your boyfriend. To some type of extent they have love for you, right? You go to Kenny's and you argue with a random dude. What do you expect?
Yeah, I would say that the mom is just as disgusting as the man who hit her, because as an older woman with a child, she needs to be carrying herself, a different type of way. Like, again, that guy, like, you should never be like that. You should never allow a woman to get you like that. I don't condone men hitting women in the slightest, but at the end of the day, we have to hold both parties responsible for that. Like, a man lost his life, a child took it, for what? Because a woman decided to sit there and argue with a man who isn't in control of his emotions. So not only did he lose his life, two little girls lost their father. All of that could have been avoided.
And that 13-year-old kid lost his innocence. That's done. Right? You can't untake that. And I would say that you might not agree with me, panel, but I would say that woman knew mentally, my son has a gun. So I am going to argue with this man, because what the fuck is he going to do about it? My son's going to kill him if he... that's just what I think, because I think if she had known we don't have anything to defend ourselves against a grown man, because that's really the only way they're winning that battle, right? So she probably went in there like, oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. And okay, cool. Like, you're going to lose right here. And that's what I mean. Women will only go to war against men when they know they can win for sure.
She doesn't love her son.
No, she doesn't, bro.
A mother... She'll never put herself in a situation to put her son in a situation that he would have to defend her. You know what I mean? Like, now, are there knuckleheads out there that target women? Yes.
That's what I was going to get
to. Yes, there
right.
is. There's stupid people out there. There's stupid men and stupid women. But a mother will never put herself in a situation where her son will be forced to defend her, let alone incite a situation like that. The moment that man did this, she should have. It was like, oh damn, no, this man, but shit out of me. Like,
Hector, I want to bring up a really important point here, though, right? You see, we'll sit here and try to break it down piece by piece. Now, for some reason, but that's what men do. We're very logical. We're like, yo, what caused this? Did he try to stop himself? Oh, I see. He did try to stop. Oh, I see. She kept going. Oh, now for women, oh, look what he did. It's like you guys completely fucking ignore all the... Listen, in general, I'm speaking in general, right? In general, ladies, in general, this is what you do. And I see it every single day. We had women come over here all the single time. As a matter of fact, I stop them when they sit here and talk shit about their exes or their baby daddies or someone else. I'm like, yo, I can't let you talk shit about this dude, even though I don't know him and he might even hate us. But I can't let you talk shit about this dude because he's not here to defend himself. What do I look like as a man letting a woman destroy another man's reputation when he's not here to defend it? I think that's horrible. And I already know that's how women work. So I'm like, yo, you're not going to do that around me. You might be able to do it around him and him and him and him, but not me. So I'm not listening to that. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to videos like that, no one feels bad for the man. The dude lost his life. Yeah. He's the biggest loser in this situation.
Well, I feel bad for the little girls.
No one feels bad for him though. And my thing is, again, why are you arguing with a fucking grown ass man?
I feel bad for all of them, honestly.
It's like it's
being that uneducated.
It's disheartening for all parties. But I was gonna get to Hector's point. It's like, again, and I'm a firearms instructor and I teach women self-defense. You do have, especially now with this incel culture.
Why are you teaching women self-defense?
To defend themselves against when they can't.
You say you're an instructor, right?
Like physically?
No, like firearms.
Firearms.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I teach them firearms. Correct.
Okay. Now here's and I'm not trying to like pick on you, but interestingly enough, like. You know, men are the biggest victims of all crimes.
Yes.
You know, like we're teaching women to self-defense. Like you guys are the aggressors half the time. Yo, when police officers are called to any domestic situation, it's crazy because they go in, they're already trying to defend the woman, but then they'll say, yo, we already know 80% of the time it's the woman who's instigating this shit. We already know that, but we still have to go in there ready to defend her. Because we understand who the stronger gender is, right? And so I'm a little bit upset with you because even when you brought up this situation, it's like, oh, well, do you think this is okay? And I'm just like, listen, none of it was okay.
Right, none of it was
okay. But the
right.
guy was being she's literally she won't shut up.
The ultimate point is that I believe that it's dangerous for women to, you know, not like you guys got to let the younger women know, like, hey, look, mommy, don't argue with men. A lot of the men are emotional,
right?
You know, like they can't, when the violence that men are capable of, like we're capable of so much carnage. Like we created violence. You see what I'm saying? Like women, you guys aren't capable to the same degree of violence as we are. So it's dangerous for any woman to sit there and argue with a man. Like, you know, like men will never side with the man if he was wrong. We'll never, even right now, where we're, you know, trying to make it a point that it's like, well, she shouldn't have been arguing with him in the first place, but we still don't condone him hitting her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the point is the fact that as a woman, she should have never argued with him in the first place, you know, let alone get her son to kill him.
So to touch on your point, I agree with that. As a mother, and Chrissy being a mom as well, we'll probably see this too. Even with you ladies not being moms, you may be able to see from an outside perspective, but I think in that position, she failed as a mother from the first cause and effect of going back and forth with a man who could potentially be dangerous. I think you need to be aware that you don't know these people that are complete strangers. You don't know their capabilities. She didn't know if he had a gun. So either way, before we even jump to the, you know, she knew her son could go get the gun from the car. She didn't know if he had a gun. So she should have never started with that man to begin with. And I always make sure I'm conscious of decisions or predicaments I put myself in when I have my kids with me. And I think one of the most common ones I've realized that I do now differently is road rage, right? So my daughter's in the back seat in her car seat and someone cuts me off. Ideally, I want to scream. I want to go and swerve around this person, yell at them. All they have to do is pull out a gun and shoot my car, or follow me to my house, or follow me to where I go and start issues with me. So in those certain scenarios, when I go to be irritable and do something that's wrong, I immediately remember my daughter's in the back seat and stop. My daughter was not in the back seat. I may have done something different, which is impulsive. And ideally, yes, that's still an issue within myself. But when you have a kid, you're supposed to think differently for them and for their safety as well. And that's where I feel like she dropped the ball first by going back and forth with this man, which I will also say in that video, he got to an ultimatum within the first 10 seconds. I do feel like when men are being taunted, an ultimatum comes as a last resort. So you're going back and forth, taunting a guy, and the last thing he's going to say is, stop doing this, or stop screaming at me, or get out of my face, or. So I feel like we got 8 to 10 seconds into that video. That's not enough time for him to get to that point. Can't speak for all men, but in a lot of videos I've seen. So ideally, she had to push him to a whole nother point to get to that level. And this is a complete stranger when you're just going to get chicken for your family.
Yeah. Most men won't hit women.
Bro. Yeah, I agree with you. But speak more, because you're, and at least you're not being biased about the whole situation. You're right. We saw what 10, 15 seconds of it. And clearly when we started, you can already see he was very aggressive. It takes time for a guy to get there. Like think about it. We did a 3-hour show yesterday. It took us to like the end of the show, basically, for me to get to the point where I'm like, yo, if you keep interrupting me, I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up. This girl was the whole show disrespectful, you know, cutting us off. She was having side conversations. And then finally she throws the fucking microphone and she throws the water and she makes a mess. And finally she gets in my face and I said, if you put your hands on me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. You know, now my brother here, he's like, yo, you should never. And I'm a feminist. I believe in equality. I think women deserve equal rights. And I think you deserve equal lefts. You put your fucking hands on a man, bro. If my daughter ever hit a man, I'd be like, get ready.
Damn.
Just get ready. It may not happen, but just be ready.
Damn.
Just be ready, because when the fuck did we get to 2023 where we're saying do whatever the fuck you want to a man and nothing's gonna happen?
Red flag.
What? Come on, man.
That's the narrative in society right now.
I can't listen. Again, I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that, but at the end of the day, too, like who are you to put your hands on me and to come in my face and tell me I'm not gonna do shit? Because think about it like this, right? At the end of the day, especially where I come from in Baltimore, this right here, this is private, personal space. This is my bubble, right? If I let someone in here, I'm getting ready to kiss them, or me and her about to do, you know what I mean? This is personal space. You don't come here. You don't want me to go in your personal space or your personal space or your personal space. This is personal space. I should be able to get the fuck out of my face, right? That's just what it is. I would expect someone to do the same shit for me.
Yeah. But let's, Steve, if you can, I don't know if we got any super chats. We'll read them first. Steve,
we do, yeah.
Look up social experiment, domestic violence social experiment. Let's see if we can find
okay.
it. Yeah, so we can see the difference. Yeah, so we can see the difference between
Right.
a woman being violent with a man and a man being violent with
They
a
did
woman.
a similar study like that on 2020 several years ago,
It should
and there
be on
was
YouTube.
right, and there was actually people cheering the woman on when she was beating on the guy.
I said they were laughing. I said they were laughing.
Bringing out
real quick though. Let's go ahead and power up my man. He's JD Reacts, man. Shout out to you, brother.
Damn, son, where'd you
He
find
says,
this?
awesome job, Eric, and the Unfiltered podcast. Eric, when the show's coming out with you and Pearl, Pearlythings. So we did a show with them on, what was that?
Last week on Sunday.
Damn, it was last week already?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, bro. Yo,
shout out to Pearly.
Yo, shout out to Pearlythings, man. Yo, our days are so crazy. I don't know what day I'm in. I don't know how long it's been. But yeah, we did 2 shows with Pearly, actually. And the thing about Pearly is she pre-records. So, they got to edit, they got to cut it out. But I'm going to reach out to them and see when it comes out. And I'll give you guys the link. It was actually a really, really great show, man. I'm really happy about that show. He says, with you, Pearl, okay, and Pearlythings, didn't you guys do a show already? Yes, we did.
Already? Yeah, no, we did it.
Yeah, we did it. And by the way, man, she had to rush back to the UK, but she did say she would come to the show the next time she was in Miami. So, we're gonna make that happen. Let's power up my man, Lord Peachy, too, man. Lord Peachy says, hands down, no one should put their hands on anyone. If you are a fully grown adult, you then have full grown adult responsibilities too. That's fair. And that's a really good point right there. Mm-hmm. Again, listen, ladies, I listen, I agree with him. I do. I really do agree with him. Like, I don't think a guy should put his hands on a woman, but you put your hands on me.
Expect to get hit.
And I'm not saying I'm necessarily going to swing first, but if you put your hands on me, I might just grab you and, try to stop you or, try to get you out of here. But and here's the thing. I've had girls on this show punch me in the face, cut my face, because we used to give you guys glass cups.
That's why we don't have
right. Yeah. So now we have these cups. Shout out to Unfiltered, man. But back then I used to give the girls glass cups, and the girl actually threw one at me, and it actually cut my face. Granted, this was like 6-7 months ago, but she cut my face. I had a girl spit on me, and same mentality. Yo, I'm not gonna hit these girls, bro. They're emotional, blah blah blah. And it got to the point where I'm like, yo, you know what, bro? Fuck it. Fuck it. You know what? You punch. You listen. You punch me, and I'm I'm just gonna give you one good one, and then we're gonna pick you up and take you out of here. But yeah, man, that's just the way it is. And granted, and I think that's probably the one thing me and him don't agree on. But listen, he's also just, this is his first week. He already kicked the chick up.
Okay, getting spit on. I'm gonna ask you, Hector.
He
So
already
if a woman spit on you,
he already kicked the chick off like his.
if a woman spit in your face, you not gonna put hands.
I'm gonna be completely transparent with you, Chelsea. I really never had a bad experience with a woman.
Yeah,
I really never had a bad experience with a woman. Like I'm it's just, never. Even sat there and like, well, one time I cut a woman off in traffic. This was a long time ago.
You gotta be careful how you say that, man. Don't clickbait that shit.
I cut a woman off. I cut a woman off in traffic. I didn't know it was a woman. Oh yeah, this was about 5 years ago. I was rushing somewhere. I don't remember where it was. And I cut a woman off. Whoa.
He thought it was.
I cut a woman off.
Found out it wasn't.
I cut a woman off in traffic. I thought it was a guy. And I like stick my middle finger out through the window. And the woman pulled up next to me like, oh, you got like, she was like yelling, you got a motherfucking problem, blah, blah, blah. And I just looked at her and I smiled. Like, because, I know, like, again, I keep saying that the violence that men are capable of, like, it's like, I'm not even about to engage with you as a woman. Like, what's up? You got something to say?
I was saying, but do you not feel, again, as a man, you may have a higher responsibility? Because again, when I teach women about firearms, I say, at the end of the day, when you're carrying a firearm, you have a higher responsibility than anybody. This person doesn't even know that you can end their life right now. So sometimes it's best walk away. Do you not feel as a man though that you know what you're capable of? Yes, this woman got in my face. She doesn't know. She doesn't understand. The damage that can be done. Do you not feel you have the higher responsibility to just walk away?
I think that's one of the best questions that's ever been asked on this panel, at least towards me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I will say this: I think there's a higher responsibility on her, on the woman. And the reason why, and this is why I always say that women never get taught how to treat men. Because if you were being taught how to treat men, you would say, I'm not gonna go up and do that to that man because I know what he's capable of. Just like for some reason, right? I personally know, and I'm from Baltimore, but when I moved to Florida, I see gators just walking around like they're stray dogs. But something in me, even though I was never taught to just like not go up to a gator, like I just won't go up to a fucking gator. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know women that's never had a bad experience with men.
Yeah,
but
because of how they carry themselves. Like it's a they're not teaching women to be feminine. Like a feminine woman, like it's like a jewel. Like you treat them like, oh yeah, excuse me, like I'm sorry, or you hold doors for them. It's these combative women that provoke and incite these men to be that way. And the man is already emotionally unstable, right? He's not a master of his emotions, and then he meets this combative woman who's not in her feminine energy, acting masculine. So it's just it's not good. And it ends like that. I would argue that woman is masculine. He was feminine for what he did, and a life got ended, and two little girls lost their father.
And by the way, guys, I'm not saying that it's okay for men to do that. I'm just saying, me personally, for myself, just for me, okay, I think that women have, first of all, I think back in the day, right? Like back in the day, go all the way back, bro. Like back when Jesus of Lazarus was walking around and girls were just getting like there was a lot more peace. I'm just being honest. There was a lot more peace because men would put women in their place. Now I know I'm about to get in trouble because my place? Oh my God, like I'm equal to you, right? But like there is a place, there's a hierarchy, right? Like I would just never go up to a fucking gator or a lion. I know my place in the circle of life, right?
I mean, growing up, my mom would even like I said, I was in a teenage relationship, and my mom wouldn't even let me play fight. Like she would be like, you don't play fight with men, like because he's gonna give you the wrong hit. And one day I was play fighting with him, and I hit myself like by our dog's gate, and I saw the true colors. I saw the true colors, and he saw my true colors. And from that day, my mom came in and she was like, "You don't do that because he can give you the wrong hit, and then you're gonna like be messed up. You're gonna see him in a whole different level, and then it's just gonna be a toxic trait that it just keeps on and on and on and on."
Yeah, and I want to say one thing because that was a really good question. Again, I think that yes, as a man, you should have this, but there's a difference. Like I didn't hit the chick that came, mind you, everything she did, and I still didn't put my hands on her. Everything that she did, I still did not put my hands on her. Another man would have, but there's got to be a certain limit where a girl can say, okay, I just cursed him out. I disrespected him. I threw his equipment on the table at him. I threw the water. I got up in his face. Eventually, this guy's going to do something if I don't back the fuck down. And that's where women don't understand in today's society because they're just pushing the limit. How far can I go? How far can I go? And then guess what? A dude's going to be like, yo, I'm tired of this. It's like you said, the ultimatum. I gave that girl an ultimatum. Yo, listen, the whole show you've been fucking up. And now here you are being disruptive. You're breaking equipment and throwing water and you're in my face. You're going to get knocked the fuck out very soon.
She probably behaved that way with the father of her children too. And women don't just do that. Like, you know what I mean? And the women that do, they do that with everybody.
But here's the sad part about it. Let's say I do knock the bitch out. That's all they're going to clip. That's all they're going to clip. They're only going to clip the pop, pop. That's
then you
it.
become villainized.
And then, but because it's a lose-lose, which is why I agree with him that men should not be putting their hands on women because it's a lose-lose no matter what. But listen, man, if you got a few warriors out there, if you want to take one for the team, man, for the men, just be smart about it, bro. Make sure it's on camera, okay? And again, I'm not saying hit women, but god damn it, bro. Like I think men, in a sense, by allowing women to hit them, we're kind of saying it's okay to do it. Because like it's like a child, right? I have kids. It's like my kid does something and I say nothing about it. He gets no repercussions. There's no consequences. He doesn't even get grounded or spoken to about it, right? He's gonna be like, oh, I could do this shit all day. But that's how women are when it comes to antagonizing men.
Why don't you think the man called the police on the woman? She hits me. I'm filing it. Why don't you file assault charges on her?
There's a difference between her hitting you and you calling the police on her, and her hitting me and me calling the police on her. The fact that you don't know that you're a firearms instructor, you don't know the difference. I actually kind of worry the fact that so many women are out here getting guns because a woman can just say she feared for her life, and pop, there goes another dude, right? That's another thing we're not talking about. Like I just did some reading today, and it says that women go through different emotional changes 4 times a month.
Emotional.
That means a woman changes 4 times a fucking month, bro. Like their whole emotions and everything changes about them. It's crazy, and we're letting you guys have guns.
So I have a counter question for you. You stated multiple times that incidents happened with someone throwing a glass on you, someone spitting on you. Right. So you said that after that happening, now you have the perspective of fuck it. Yeah. So I have 2 questions as a result of that.
Okay.
The next incident, hopefully nothing does happen, but with a woman perpetrating something with you, do you find that you'll be more irritable to put your hands on her now because of your past experiences? Right. And then also, do we think that could be what has happened to a lot of these men?
That's a good question. You're asking really good questions. Here's the thing, right? You can get let's say you were to get a dog hypothetically, right? And let's say you were a fucked up person and this was a nice dog. This was a regular dog. But let's say you kept kicking it, right? Like, let's just say every day you kicked it maybe once or twice. Damn. Eventually, even though that's not in his nature, he doesn't want to harm you. Eventually, he's going to show some sign of aggression. He's going to show his body language is going to change. His tail might, go up differently. Like he's going to tell you, yo, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it, right? At some point in time, people have to defend themselves. And I think that's the fucked up part about it is that when men finally do defend themselves, they're wrong regardless. They're automatically wrong. Like you can hit a dude 10 times and he isn't even supposed to flinch. But if he hits you once, he's in the wrong 1000%.
But why can't he call the police on her? Like the girl that spit on you, that's
seriously.
assault charges right there.
Yeah. How about this? I don't even want to do it because it'd be weird, but you could call the police and yell domestic violence, see how quick they get here. and then I'll call the police and yell domestic violence, and let's time them and see how fast they get here. Okay, that's number one. Also, number two, when the cops arrive, they're automatically, because I'm supposed to be assumed as the stronger gender, and we are, they're gonna say, what did you do? Right? Oh, let's look you up. Let's look up your record, right? Yeah. And so again, it's a lose-lose situation. I've seen this happen. But to your point, yes. Now, after I got cut in the face and everything spit on, I said that. I was like, yo, the next girl, she's gonna get it. And it's been happening. I think since we moved into this new studio, I think we've kicked out like maybe like 12 girls. I still haven't done anything because I understand it doesn't benefit me to do it. But some girl's gonna punch me in my face, and I might not punch her back, but I might just like pimp slap her or some shit, you know what I mean? Or just like, you know, I don't know. We'll see when it happens.
Don't manifest it though.
No, I'm not trying to. Listen, I'm not trying to manifest it. But what I'm saying is, first of all, we got cameras here recording, right? It's gonna get to a point. And listen, ladies, you right here. What's your name? Mackenzie. Mackenzie, you could go up to 5 guys outside right now, punch them all in the face, and they might not do anything. But then you go to you go to Wynwood, down the other street. You punch 5 guys, they might not do anything. You punch another guy, you don't know. You like, it's like Russian roulette. Why would you take that risk?
Right.
Okay, cool. I did it and nothing happened. Okay, cool. But why would you take? Because at some point it's gonna happen. So that's all I'm telling the ladies.
Yeah,
right?
Like, don't risk it.
We have some super chats, man. Let's go ahead and give him a level up right there. GK Rock, shout out to him. He says, Eric/Hector, do you think the women are like rattlesnakes when they lose their temper, just like a fast strike of a venomous snake? Okay, he says, question mark. That's how I saw that one girl that threw a cup at Eric. Okay, cool.
Where's the super chat at?
They're
I
not
don't
putting
know.
up on me.
Yeah, they're not putting up. I don't know if you could put that one up on the screen real quick, Steve. So he's saying, do we feel like women are like rattlesnakes? You know what, GK? I'm gonna say that anybody could be like a rattlesnake, bro. You know, it's just for some reason with men, it's like we're not supposed to show any emotions.
Eric and Hector, do you think that women are like rattlesnakes when they lose their temper, just like a fast strike of a venomous snake? That's how I saw that one girl that threw a cup. Oh, I see what he's saying. So it's like
so let me give you guys some context.
Bad example though, because rattlesnakes will warn you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Okay. I'll say this. Shout out to yo, Steve, you're gonna have to put him up, bro, because she can't on her end. So let me give you guys some context. We'll go back in time real quick. So this was like when the podcast was brand new. Okay, it was like only me and like 2 other guests and Basil. Shout out to my boy Basil. And we had a girl. She wasn't a girl. She was a grown woman. She was like 39 years old. And I was telling her why I felt she was single, by the way. And she was telling me why she was the prize and whatever. And I said, well, you're not the prize. You're 39. Your youthful years are behind you. You probably have a whole bunch of trauma, sexual experience. You probably have a shit ton of bodies. And she said, you're going to talk to me like that? And I said, yeah. And she got up, threw the cup at me, and it just happened to graze me. I don't know how it cut me, but it shattered and it cut me. And I got up in her face. I walked up into her face. And I said, you got to get the fuck up out now. Like right now. And then on the way out, she spit on me. So, and I still didn't do anything to her. So yes, I would say that anybody's capable of doing that. You know, did she feel offended? Of course she probably, you know, what I was saying is, in my opinion, is the truth, but maybe she just didn't want to hear it. Right. She's 39 years old. Nobody who wants to hear it. You're 39, right? Oh shit. Okay. Who wants to hear, yo, listen, your youthful years are behind you, right? Like, who wants to hear that? So I definitely, that's a little bit of context there, but I don't know, man. We're gonna get to a point where hopefully we don't, because I would love for all of our panels to be like this, where we can respect each other and talk normally and not have to offend each other. But who knows, man? Who knows? A lot of our guests are strippers, OnlyFans girls, prostitutes. We have all type of guests that come in here. And then on top of that, they're drunk. We don't even get them drunk. They come in here drunk. They come in here drunk already.
Where do you recruit these girls?
Well, we have a whole team that recruits girls. And this is Miami. This is one of the hardest cities to get girls in because Miami has so many options. Think about it. It's Saturday. We had 3 girls cancel last minute today. Why? Because some dude hit her up on Instagram. Yo,
for dinner.
come for dinner. Come to the VIP section, right? So it's just the way that it happens, man. Let's go ahead and power up my next super chatter real quick, man. And it's gonna be fucking Lord Peachy. Lord Peachy says, when you do we have him up already? Okay, cool. He says, when you try to de-escalate the situation and she hits you, two things happen after hitting her back. She gets disciplined and respects men, or she respects you and gets turned on. Okay, Peachy. I don't, bro, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think girls really get turned on when you smack the shit out of them, bro. I don't. Really?
Depends about what we're arguing.
Whoa.
Hey, I don't kink shame.
Yeah, depends on what we're arguing.
Yeah, nah.
I think it depends on how hard the hit is.
Yeah, that
No,
too.
I think that.
But
I think it depends on what we're arguing about.
here's another argument.
Damn.
Well, you can't take a guy's hit punch and be like, oh, I think it's gonna be. You don't. Why would you take that risk? Why would you take that risk? Okay, listen. I'm just glad that there's men out there that care enough about their daughters to say, I'm a man. I'm gonna teach you how to deal with a man, how to treat a man, because I'm also gonna teach you how he should treat you. But don't ever disrespect a man.
Right.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things that I heard one woman come in here and say was, she said, no matter what a man does to you, remain silent. Go home and, scream in a pillow if you have to. You know what I mean? Yeah. And because you don't want to give, there's so many situations where like guys are catcalling girls. They'll turn around and be like, shut the fuck up, bitch, or some shit like that. And now these dudes are like, they want to hurt them or some shit. Like, you just never know. Why would you do that? I'm not saying the guys are right, but I'm just saying, why would you? You don't know these dudes. You don't know these dudes. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen is like a woman that knows when to speak. A woman that knows when to speak to me. And in my opinion, that's like the most beautiful woman right there. Okay, cool. I have a question for you guys. If you guys don't have anything to touch on that, nothing to add.
I want to see the video. You got it up,
Did you pull it up already?
Yeah, I got it. Hold on.
Okay.
I think this is the right
Shout out
one.
to Steve, man.
You said it's the domestic abuse social experiment.
Yeah,
right?
I think that one's it. Yeah.
All right. Fair use, guys. Fair use.
That it?
I think this was the first one that got like.
What's going on, guys?
That's it. Yep.
CT. This is
There you
Hot
go.
TV today.
All right, fair use. I'm gonna play a little bit.
Shout out to you, bro.
Let me know when you guys want me to pause it.
Oh yeah. Today we're doing the domestic violence experiment.
I'm gonna be abusing him. He's gonna be abusing me, and we're gonna see who gets more attention.
You spoke to him last night?
What's it?
Listen, yeah. Listen, you could tell me the truth. You could tell me the truth. Why are you talking to that guy last night?
I wasn't.
Listen, don't talk to go.
Okay, pause it real quick. Pause it.
Hold on.
Okay, you see how you see?
Hold on.
Go back a little bit.
Go back, bro, because a whole drove of fucking people went towards her.
It was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You saw how he.
There we go.
You see, look, yeah. You see how everybody jumped up, rightfully
Yeah, hold
so.
on. Go,
Rightfully so.
just go back like a little bit
more?
just a little when they're all going to him. Go forward a little bit more, because you can see there's like 8 people
Hold on,
that.
let me just play it.
Pause it right. Hold on, a little bit more. You can look right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people already. 7 with the dude with the hat. Shout out to my man in the hat in the corner, because you can't really see him.
Shout out to this guy.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, rightfully so. Right, but fast forward.
Okay.
Or press play real quick. Let it. They threw him on the ground. Yeah, right there. There you go. Go back a little bit.
All right, I'll play it here.
Playing. What are you doing? Oh, chill. Yo.
Damn, that's
You
crazy.
see what I'm saying? Damn right. Go fast forward to I think the middle.
All right.
Okay. Go back. There you go.
All right, now see what happens when a female abuses a male in public. All right, here we go.
You cheating on me again? You texting that girl again, huh?
I wasn't cheating at
I
you.
saw that picture too.
I wasn't cheating at you.
They try to get away.
Just watch it. Somebody's recording.
You start laughing at this? Are you serious right now? Are you serious?
Oh shit, bro! What the fuck?
You see what I'm saying? You see? And look. Listen. Even you guys were laughing.
Unacceptable.
Even you guys were laughing. You see what I'm saying? That's the world we live in today. Were the people right for jumping up to the woman's defense? 100%. Men shouldn't be hitting women. But look at that though. You see how she's being violent towards that man and he's not doing anything?
Red flag.
And what did the guys do? Did they sit there and be like, hey, don't hit him? Or hey, calm down, lady. Miss, stop doing that. You shouldn't do this in public. No woman went to that man's defense. On the contrary, the men that saw that went in and smacked him upside his head. You know what I mean? So it's that. Now, so back to the whole situation with the lady in the chicken spot. You know what I'm saying? Like it both are wrong. But we'll incentivize women to, you know, don't let no man talk to you no type of way. Like the violence that men are capable, you guys don't even understand it. You guys don't even a man will change your face. A man will change your face for the rest of your life.
Damn.
You know, it's never smart. And that goes to show you, that social experiment goes to show you. You could keep playing it too, Steve, for me, please. Because I think they show another little situation. You can mute it if you want.
Yeah, right there.
You see, look.
Fair use.
Yeah.
She's really hitting him, though.
You know what I mean? Look, nobody.
Beating his ass.
Nobody.
They're just talking. They don't even give a shit.
I mean, okay, I'm not saying this right now. By no
Hold on,
means.
let's finish it. Look, she's really taking swings at him, bro. Look, she punched him straight in the face.
No
one is standing up for that man. You know, granted, it's a social experiment, but it's the point. Look, nobody.
They really wanted to make this shit look real.
Not a woman, not a woman coming and saying, "Hey, don't." Even if it wasn't for the man, and if it was in the interest of the woman, like, don't allow yourself to be looked at like that, honey. Right. Like, don't do that, honey. Like, come here, let's talk. Like, don't act like that. You're a lady. Like, nothing, none of that. They're just allowing her to behave that way, and that's the issue. The issue is that women aren't holding other women accountable. Like, again, even if it was for her best interest, and they were like, "Yo, fuck the guy. He probably deserved you to be hitting him." But it was like, don't conduct yourself like that, young lady, because you look bad too. They're not even doing that. They're just allowing her to display that kind of behavior. In my opinion, a lady shouldn't be fighting at all. Not even with other women. You
not
know
even
what I'm saying?
In public or arguing.
Right.
So,
speaking to them,
like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Ladies, understand what he's saying. And you all laughed. You all laughed.
It was kind of funny. Okay.
I laughed when old boy came and gave him a little.
Nah, but
they all jumped in too.
But it's not
like,
funny though. That it's not funny. Like, both of y'all laugh. That shit is not funny at all. You know, it's a thing that's going on right now. It's a fucking issue. Imagine all the violence that's going on in houses, in homes, with children watching, whether it's the man or the woman, the aggressor. You see what I'm saying? To where we could laugh at that shit. That shit's not funny.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just wanted to ask a question as far as, again, like I said, I'm not condoning it, but do you think in the sense why it is kind of different? Yes, it's the same, but it's different. But like you said, people know the damage men can do. So the men that were slamming the guy on the floor, they knew, like, in a sense, that this man can actually kill this woman right now versus this woman. She's like a little cat. Yes, she's scratching you up. She's doing all this crazy stuff. But maybe, do you think the reaction would have been different if maybe she had a weapon?
Yo, I got to stop you right there, man, because that really pisses me off. Yeah, it's not she's scratching you up. Women are actually can hurt dudes too. But right? Let me finish. Right, like I've had women punch me and they hit pretty hard. Some of them, okay. Some women have some pretty strong force with them too. Now, can I handle it? Yes, but is it irritating? Yes, it is. Right, like you can't sit here and say, "Oh, a woman can, she can scratch you and maybe push you." No, like women can all. And here's the thing: men aren't. We weren't raised to have people hit us, right? Like. I wasn't raised to have people hit me. So when someone hits me, it's like red flag. Matter of fact, I remember one time I got punched in the back of the head, like randomly, like some girl randomly punched me in the back of the head. I wanted to kill this chick, right? I didn't hit her, but I wanted to kill this chick because when I'm getting punched, like it's not processing in my mind what's going on. I'm getting hit from behind. Mm-hmm. And so all I want to do, everything in me just says defend. Who cares what it is? You swing and ask questions later. You know what I mean? And it's just like, we're not especially if you go through trauma like me when I was a kid, even worse. You know what I mean? So it's just like, we're not meant to, in today's society. That's why when people are like, "Oh, a guy should never hit you." I don't necessarily agree. I've had women come on here and say, if a woman is chasing you with a gun or a knife, you still shouldn't put I'm like, you are a dumb fucking bitch, bro. You are a dumb fucking bitch. I would let a woman come at me with a knife. I'm sorry, man. It's you or me, and it ain't gonna be me. You know what I mean? It just ain't. Oh well, you're insecure. Shut the fuck up, man. What was your question?
Well, no, that's how I was just saying. Do you think the reaction would have been different? I'm just saying how society sees it, how all the men see it. This woman cannot really do much damage to this man. And now, do you think it would be different if she had a weapon? Let's say she was coming at him with a pipe or something.
No.
Do you think people would still be laughing at him? And
I mean, I think more people would probably like looked at it, but I don't think anybody, because there's some weird shit that happens in society where I don't personally think that way, but most people feel like, well, what can she possibly do with that baseball bat? How hard could she possibly swing it, right? Like, how hard could she possibly swing it? Like, it's so weird. I personally, the reason why earlier you asked me a question, like, who has a bigger responsibility, the girl who's hitting you or you, since you're stronger than her? And I would say both of us, but I would say her. It's like, you shouldn't be doing this, right? If I have a son and I have a daughter, right? My daughter's younger, right? But if my son goes up and hits my daughter, I'm not gonna look at my daughter and be like, you shouldn't have hit her. Granted, I've done that before because of the age difference, right? Like, she's 8, he's 3. That's a big age difference. But like, there's got to be consequence for something. You can't just go up to your sister and punch her in the mouth. You can't. Like, she shouldn't do it to you. You shouldn't do it to her. And I think it's weird to have like the lesser or weaker person. You should be able to, tell that person, like, listen, you should be able to hit your sister. She's 8 and she shouldn't be able to hit you back. No, I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. I think nobody should hit each other. And if you do go hit your sister, she's stronger than you. If she hits you back, granted, there's going to be a consequence for it, but what the fuck do you want me to do about it? You shouldn't be hitting your sister in the mouth. Right. Like, I got mad at him one time because he got mad at his game. He plays Smash Brothers. He got mad and threw the switch and hit my daughter. And my daughter, obviously, her being, as sweet as she is, she didn't do anything about it. But bro, there's got to be consequences, man. And I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but back in the day, when men were disciplining women, it wasn't what it is today. It's crazy. I think there's more violence now than there was back in the day. And back in the day, people weren't playing that shit.
Yeah, spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Consequences for everything.
I wanted to just add a comment really quickly to when you were saying that women change. You said 4 times a month.
Yeah, so I did. Today I did some studying because I watched the reel, and it was a reel on TikTok, and they were talking about how women, you're always emotionally changing.
We do, because we menstruate.
Yes, and
it's because our hormones change several times a month in order to be able to conceive and carry a child.
Correct. But
that's why.
So I thought it was twice, because I was like, they're regular throughout the month, and then the period happens, and then they switch, and then they come back. But when I did some reading on it, it says that you guys actually change 4 times a month. Every single month, you're changed 4 times a month, which is why sometimes they said that when you wake up in the morning, you'll fit your bra on, you put it on, and it fits perfectly. And then the next like week, you could do the same bra, and it all of a sudden it's like shivery. I mean, it's shriveled and it doesn't fit, and like it's weird. Like, your body changes too. It's not just your hormones.
In like Eastern medicine, they compare a period to like the seasons of the year.
Yeah.
The winter is when we're menstruating. Spring is the week right after.
Yeah.
Summer is the following week, and then fall. So, because there's 4 weeks in a month, so they all coincide with like a season. Our body is going through all those different changes, and it is something that
that's crazy. When I read that today, I was like, holy shit! Which is why it actually made me realize even further why you guys should never lead. Should never lead. A woman president, a woman holding the key codes, the fucking nuclear. What? No, never.
Does it change with age? Like, as she gets older and she like doesn't menstruate?
Do you guys ever stop having? Wait, hold on. Let's ask her, because she's 39. Do you guys ever stop having a period, or is that for life?
Yeah, we do.
No, about 50
Oh
years.
shit!
You didn't know that, Eric? That's
Bro,
middle
hold
school.
up, bro.
It's called
Hold on, yo. I'm not a woman, bro.
Yeah, it's called menopause.
So you're telling me for 50 years you have periods, and then one day it just stops?
Yeah.
It's not just one day. Like, it'll
That's
start.
why you can't have kids no more. Like, you didn't know that?
No. I'm not gonna sit here and say I knew that, because first of all, I didn't have a regular upbringing. Like, I grew up in the system, right? But number 2, so what do y'all do after that? Like, you're basically free. What happens after that?
I don't know. I'm not there yet.
Nah, they just stop menstruating, bro.
Yeah,
They
you
go
can't have
through like
kids anymore.
I think it takes like a month, I think, for them to go through menopause. I think.
No, it can take some women years.
Does it?
Yes, their hormones are fluctuating all over the place. Some women experience it more extreme than others. Some women get it earlier than others, like mid 40s, some late in their 50s. Every body is different. So
wow.
Yeah.
Yo, but honestly, like if I was a woman and I was like going through that for 50 years and then bop, one day I'm done, I'd feel liberated. Like I'd feel free. Cause don't you guys go through a lot of shit during that month, like during the period stage.
do.
So that's crazy, man. Let's get to the super chatters real quick, man. Shout out to the chat. We have one from It's Libby, LBBY. Shout out to you, man. Haven't seen you before. Make sure you subscribe, buddy. Or if you're a girl, man, shout out to you. It says, "What's up, guys? I just got finished watching the podcast from 2 days ago. Love what y'all are doing, both of the men / women. It's Ibby. Okay, sorry, it's Ibby. Abraham. That Brooke was talking about. Oh, it's Ibby. That's the
the boyfriend.
Yes, bro. Remember, I was like, yo, Abraham, leave her. Yeah.
Wow. The girl who said
all her guy friends.
Yes.
That she didn't want to cut him off.
Oh,
yeah, and
okay.
I said that he should have left her
14 to 21 days.
Yes.
Okay.
You said that. Yeah. Shout out to you, brother, man. Much love, much respect, bro.
Let's go drop another.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. And here's another thing too. A lot of girls come in here with boyfriends, and we, like I told you earlier, your boyfriend may not like what I have to say to you. But that's okay, because we always tell the ladies that come here, like, we're not trying to have sex with you, so we're going to be honest with you, right? But the guys out there, they might have an interest in having sex with you, so they'll kind of like sugarcoat things, right? And yeah, we tell people what it is. Like, I'll tell girls, you know, when girls come in, they're like, oh, so Eric, what do you think about the fact that I've been with Abraham for 9 months and he's never asked me out? Like, what do you think I'm the one? And I'm like, no, you're not the one. And Abraham hits me up in the DMs, yo, bro, I think it's fucked up. You don't even have a girl. How the fuck do you know? And I'm like, I'm a dude, bro. Like I know how it is. I've had 4 relationships and I'm 35 years old. I've had 4 serious relationships. I know every single one of them lasted over 5 years. So like, I know what it takes to like commit. I know like how it feels. I know when you, like he said earlier, this girl's so valuable, you want to take her off the market real quick.
Yeah.
Because if you feel the way that way about her, who else might feel the same way?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel real quick. Let's go ahead and power up my man, Lord Peachy again. Shout out to Lord Peachy, man, always supporting us. He says, would you guys laugh if the roles were reversed and a random girl came in to smack a girl when the man is beating her? Okay, so he's talking about the guy that came in and hit the guy.
Yeah.
And he's essentially saying, would you laugh if a guy was beating a girl and another woman came and smacked her? Would you laugh then? And you know what? You wouldn't.
No,
you wouldn't, which is why I actually appreciate you, bro, and bringing, the severity of it all and letting the ladies know, like, yo, listen, yes, it can come across as funny, but there's nothing funny about it on what's happening back scenes, right? Like on a backstage where, you know, the little 8-year-old daughter is watching mom and dad fight and she can't do anything to get herself out of that situation, right? That's not funny. And typically, you know, that daughter may be seeing that her parents do that and she might be the one doing that to this dude in public. That's how funny it actually isn't. Right. So shout out to you, brother, on that, man. I don't think we have any of the super chats. Ladies, do you have any questions real quick? No questions. OK, awesome.
Yeah. So everybody's in a relationship, right? For the most part. I wanted to ask you guys, is it OK for a woman to have male friends when she's in a serious relationship?
Hell no.
No?
Hell no.
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
It depends.
On what?
Is this like a childhood friend?
Doesn't matter.
Is this some
just
dude
a male
you just
friend.
met
A male
yesterday?
friend. A male friend. Just a friend that's a man. If you're in a serious relationship, do you think it's okay for a woman to have a male best friend? Or a male friend at all in general?
Nah.
No? Why do you think it is?
So I'm just always been a lot of my interests lead me to have had a lot of guy friends growing up, like being in the cars and being into music and a few things. And I've questioned my perspective on this lately because I saw something on Twitter the other day about a girl looking at all of her guy friends and thinking that you're absolutely crazy if you don't think any of them don't want to have sex with you, or would never take the opportunity to have sex with you if they're alone with you. So ideally, I've had a lot of guy friends growing up, and I've always had it be understood in my relationships that that's something that, if that's okay, then great. If not, then we don't have to continue having guy friends and doing so. So in every relationship I've been in, that's been okay, and it's never been a problem. Granted, I've never acted upon anything, and a guy has never created that issue with me. However, I do see how that could be an issue, and seeing that happen with other people's situations. And also, like I said, rethinking it the other day and realizing that if I was alone with any of my guy friends and they had the opportunity to have sex with me, they absolutely would.
So I have male friends.
Nobody's created an issue with me yet for me to cross that boundary off of my list.
Because all men want to have sex with, like, if you're friends, all of them want to.
Yeah.
They all want to. They all are waiting for the opportunity to do it. They're all waiting for the opportunity for you to get into an argument with your boyfriend. You come to them and ask them for advice or this and this and this thing, you know, they'll do it.
Yeah.
They'll take that chance.
Listen, if men are anything, we're opportunists. It's ridiculous, man. Most men are opportunists. They wait for that. They'll wait 3 years. They'll wait 3 years for you to break up with that man. They will wait, because it's not like they're really waiting in a waiting area. They're talking to other people while they're waiting for you. What's up? You have something to say?
So the chat was saying if you would call one of your guy friends right now and test it out.
Yeah, I don't think she probably would, because you would probably know that what he's saying is right. Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that's the tweet I saw that made me reevaluate and say, like, a man is still a man at the end of the day who's going to objectify me in a certain way, and they're not wrong for doing so. But then this also makes me wonder, am I wrong for allowing these men to be my friends and me seeing a friendship in them? Or are they wrong, ideally, for leading me into a friendship, knowing that they have an ulterior motive that they don't communicate with me?
Well, it's up to you. Like, you know, women, you're just supposed to know that men, like, of course he wants to have sex.
Yes.
With you. It's not, I mean, you know, you do, ladies, like, this is surprises me. Like, we don't want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Like, men don't want to, we won't ever have anything in common.
How about this?
I don't care how much you like the same car that I like. Like, we don't have anything in common. We don't see the world the same.
I have a question for her. Give me 3 benefits that they get from being friends with you.
I can give them a female insight on advice or any information.
I don't want to hear none of that shit.
I think that women have the emotional availability that their guy friends maybe don't have. So that gives them a little more closure or comfort in speaking to someone like me about instances as such. And I just think that women sometimes can provide other experiences in life in general than their guy friends can, which would just maybe be sitting and playing video games, when in comparison, I'd try and travel or go do something fun instead.
So I think, I don't know this, I'm not going to say that this is a fact or anything, but I think that if you're in a serious relationship with a man, then he should provide everything that you need from a man. So the validation, the attention, him desiring you, the relationship itself, it should fulfill you enough that you don't really need any other guy friends, because he gives you everything that you need.
So what if I was not looking for that, though, in my guy friend? Because I don't look for that in my female friends. So if my guy friend
what
is...
are you looking for with your guy friends then?
Anybody I'm friends with, we have common interests, and we're able to understand each other.
You know what? The fact that your man lets you have guy friends actually is very worrisome for me personally. Also, not trying to pick on you, but the way you're dressed says a lot to me as well as a man. Like, I can kind of see through your clothes. You know what I mean? And from my vantage point right now, I can also kind of see like your cleavage. And that alone right there, as a man, like I would never let my girlfriend wear that, you know, and I say I would never let, because if she did that, then she wouldn't be my girl anymore. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like,
that's fair.
And because it's not controlling, it's like, it's for your protection, right? Let's say you're here in front of me and I'm maybe, you know, I'm a creep behind the scenes. Right? Like, you don't know what I'm going to do or what I'm going to try with you, or, you know, and I'm not saying that's okay, but sometimes the way you dress could cause a guy to come at you some type of way. right? And so that's things that women don't take into account. The way you're dressed, the way you're essentially kind of promoting yourself to people out here, you know. So first of all, first red flag is you have guy friends.
Red flag.
Second red flag is your man lets you have guy friends.
Red flag.
Third red flag is the way you're dressed.
Red flag.
Because as smart as you are, I think you're one of the smartest girls so far that I've seen come on this panel. The way you're dressing and the way that you're living, it doesn't add up to me. Yeah, it doesn't add up to me. I don't know if you have something to add to that, bro.
I mean, you got to understand that, like, in order for a man to objectify you sexually, you got to do it first. You know, again, are there knuckleheads out there that are just fucking stupid? Yeah, of course, right? But for the most part, like, men will only go as far as a woman lets them. So if you're like displaying things and you wonder why men are giving you negative sexual attention, you know, you got to take a little bit of accountability.
Yeah.
You know, back to the friend thing. Like, if you were, I don't know, 80 pounds overweight and, you know, ugly, do you think that they would be your friend?
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying?
So.
Like, it's always men always have an intention. You have to understand that when a man has an intention with a woman, it's for the most part always going to be sexual, unless it's like his sister or a cousin. Yeah. You know, so him being friends with you, he's settling for friendship with you so he can eventually gain access to you sexually. Yes. It's not because he likes your personality or because he thinks you're cool and you guys can play video games together. Like, no, trust me. The moment you put your guard down, he's going to have sex with you.
Not only that, you named 3 things that honestly, as a man, I would never look for that in a woman. Right. Like I can, and especially the one where you said that
the woman's perspective.
Yes,
yeah,
because I don't need a woman's perspective. I'm a man.
Yeah. You don't ask a fish how to fish. You ask the fisherman.
Yeah. And not only that, but I think if as a man, if you need advice, go to your boys. And I'm not talking about like that random dude you talk to every other week. I'm talking about your boys, like your brothers, right? Like you go to your brotherhood and you go there and you talk to them about like, this is what I'm going through with my business or my girl, or because those are your brothers. They're not going to give you bad advice. You know, my brothers aren't trying to fuck my girl behind my back. You know what I mean? So it's just like, why would I go to a girl for advice? Girls don't know what they want.
Yeah. And the difference is, ladies, you got to go to a man for advice, but it's got to be a man that doesn't want to have sex with you, like a father, a brother, a uncle, a cousin. And if you don't have any of those, you go to a woman who's been married. If your intentions are to be married, a woman who's been married in a healthy, long-term relationship, and you ask her, what are some things that you do to attract a man like the one that you have?
It's amazing.
Because I want to get married one day, but I've been having issues. And if she's your friend, she's going to tell you what it is that she does. You might not like what she says, because a lot of women that are in long-term successful marriages, there's certain things that society is telling you not to do. Like this young lady right here, she since the beginning of the show, she said, I'm gonna try to be a wife according to Proverbs 31. You know, I'm gonna put God first and then my husband. A lot of ladies are gonna say, well, why should I put my husband first? I'm gonna put myself first or my children first. You know, or you'll see women on Instagram with the most promiscuous kind of content, and the bio says God first. How in the hell can you put God first on your bio, dressing the way that you dress? It doesn't make sense, you know. Matter of fact, let's see if we can bring Proverbs 31 just so we can see what it says. Steve, please, Proverbs 31 KJV. Just put that.
Yeah.
Do we got any super chats?
No, I don't think we have any super chats at the moment. Yeah.
I can
remember to like the video. Remember to like the video.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel. Become a member.
Yeah.
Super chat. Any questions, y'all? We're reading them.
And I was gonna say she probably has it memorized. Real quick before we look at the TV, let me see if you have it memorized. Go ahead.
I can give you like the gist of it because it's a very, very long verse.
Okay.
Do KJV, Steve, beside it. I think that's the new translation.
Give me what you got.
They say that a good woman is worth far more than rubies. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. A woman should not be outside of the home at night. A woman should rise up early,
Switch the camera,
not sleep in, not stay up late. She should not wear revealing clothing. She should not speak seductively to men. She should not ruin her man's reputation. She should help around the house. She should be smart with her money, invest her money, and then do good with the profits. She gives to the poor. She holds herself in a godly manner. She just respects her husband as much as she can. She's not supposed to nag him or disrespect him or ever question his lead. And I think I covered everything.
She wasn't wrong, bro. She
Um,
wasn't wrong. That's a pretty freaking long verse right there, bro.
Is this it?
really
zoom
long.
it in real quick.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Or this is zoomed in.
It's
Hold on.
pretty. It's
It's zoomed in all
This
the
is-
way.
this
yeah.
is
It's
like-
pretty.
Go all the way up.
This got a whole bunch of.
Yeah.
Go all the way at 31. The words of King Lemuel prophecy. What my son? Yeah, there's a lie. Do you know what specific verse?
It's
I
right,
don't
it's
know.
right there.
Oh, it's just all of it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all of it.
Yeah, so the beginning
that's
of
okay, cool.
Yeah, the
let me cut
beginning
you
of
off.
Proverbs 31 warns a man against finding women who are worldly and who do not hold themselves in such a standard. And then it starts into describing what they should look for.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's basically telling a man what he needs to look for in a woman, right?
Yeah.
And then Proverbs 7, which is right before that, says what he should avoid.
Okay. See, I would rather quote Ephesians chapter 5, verse 33. It says, nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself. Okay. So people out there, you guys got to understand that when God talks to humanity, he's dealing with men. He's not dealing with women. He's dealing with men directly. This is what it says about a wife. And the wife see that she reverences her husband. Reverence is deep respect for someone or something, right? You're not showing deep respect to your husband, dressing a certain way or having male friends. You know, it's, I would argue that that's a more accurate verse. Although Proverbs 31, that it lists this down. It's a little longer, but this one is more straight to the point. Husbands, love your wife, so, like you love yourself, right? If I got a BMW, my wife needs a BMW. I got Gucci, my wife needs Gucci, right? But women have reverence for your husband, have a deep respect, right? A deep respect. That means I don't like Andrew Tate at all. The only man I see is my husband. Even when I'm among my women, I don't have male friends, right? I don't dress provocatively or promiscuous. I honor my husband when I go out into the world. I don't even so much as look at a man. I don't even shake. Really, I wouldn't even shake a man's hand tight.
Also,
that is correct.
Also, I would like to bring up another verse. It's 1 Corinthians. I forgot the 2 other numbers, but it's in Corinthians, and it's
I know which one you're talking about.
a woman doesn't yield any power over her own body, but a man does.
Wow.
Well, her husband does. Her husband.
She's spitting.
And a husband doesn't yield any power over his own body, but his wife does. So it's equal submission under the Lord.
Okay. So let's talk about that real quick. Ladies, you're married, right? Hypothetically, because, you're all taken but not married yet, right? You're married. You don't want to have sex. You're tired, right? You just came out your period, right? You're not in the mood, right? You don't feel like it, right? Your husband wants to have sex. Is he entitled to have sex? Is he entitled to your body? Should he be able to take it? Yes or no?
No.
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 Okay. What about you? That's why you're divorced. Let's move on. What about you?
Like, what do you mean? Is he gonna rape me? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Hold on.
There's such a thing as marital rape.
Let's not use that word.
exists.
Let's not use that word.
Let's use grape.
Yeah, grape,
Okay.
grape or crepe.
Crepe.
Crepe. Let's use crepe.
Excuse my
Okay.
language.
Crepe.
I
apologize.
Bro, I
as
can't
well.
even imagine how a woman would say my husband raped me. Like, how does
that happen?
But why
It
are we
does happen.
downplaying rape?
It does happen.
Let's not use that word. It messes the
Assault.
algorithm up. Yeah, let's just say
Okay,
crepe.
sorry.
Crepe.
Crepe or grape.
Grape. Yes.
Why are we
Okay.
downplaying crepe?
We're not downplaying crepe. That's not what we're doing. We're not downplaying it.
How are we downplaying
Yeah.
it? How?
By just saying, as a woman, who are you to say that your husband creped you?
What?
It doesn't matter.
I
if
didn't
you're
say
with-
that. Did I say that?
No, what he
Maybe
said
I
is
misconstrued
yeah,
it.
what he said is if let's say your husband wants to, make love to you. You're tired, right? You had a long day with the kids, you're tired and you don't feel like it. Do you have a right to say no to him?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
because it's my body at the end of the day, and us just being married or being together doesn't give you full access to me at all times.
Okay. Do you remember First Corinthians?
Yes.
What you just quoted? Okay, cool. Now, let me ask you this. Burglars break in. Matter of fact, I come home from work. It was a long day at the office. Jimmy didn't file the papers. Jack fucking didn't come into work. There's a damn, construction working in the middle. It messed up everybody's day, right? I come home and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. I just want to go home and watch TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 people break in the fucking house. They got guns. And I say, you know what? I had a long day of work. I don't feel like protecting you. Do I have that right?
You do have that right.
To not protect my woman?
At the end of the day, you are your own person and fully responsible to do whatever you want to do, whether you don't want to provide for your family or I don't want to have sex. It's not right. It's not right, but you have that right to do so.
I can't believe you just said that.
So you said First Corinthians is what?
A woman yields no authority over her own body, but her husband does, and her husband yields no authority over his body, but his wife does.
So let's dissect that. Do you know what verse it is?
It's in Corinthians. I just forgot the numbers.
You can type it in Google, man.
Yeah,
type it in, bro.
Yeah, so
it'll pop up.
What I'm understanding from this verse is you belong to me. You're my property. I belong to you. I'm your property, right? We got married under God. We created a union under the Most High God, and we became one soul. So I have authority over you just the same way as you have authority over me. So it's my duty to protect you. It's your duty to please me. You're my wife. That's not your body anymore. Your body is mine. My body is yours. I'll die to protect you. I'll kill to protect you. Do you understand?
Hector, respectfully, in the Bible, it also says that a man could only have those relations with his wife if she is willing. It says that before that verse, actually.
Okay, let's bring it up.
When it comes to protection of his woman, in Ephesians, it says that a husband should love his wife as Christ loved the church, which is a sacrificial type of love. So he has that duty to protect his wife, but the wife also has a duty to please her man.
If you show me that verse that you just talked about, where it says that a woman is only mine if she gives me that. If we're married, I will never open a fucking Bible in my fucking life again. That is stupid as shit. I look that up, bro. I want to see that, because you're telling me as a man. But you're telling me as a man, I'm supposed to die for her, provide for her, do all this shit, provision. And she can still say no under marriage. She as long as she's not willing to, bro. I will never open a Bible in my fucking life. That is stupid as fuck.
Yeah, you're talking about Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 through 29, right? Husbands, love your wife, even as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own body. He that loveth his wife loveth himself, for no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourished it, cherished it, and even as the Lord the church. Correct? Yeah.
Okay, wait. I want to pull up what you said that before that though. What was it?
That was Corinthians.
It's in Corinthians. You could literally just type in the first. No,
go to it.
That was
Yeah, no. But what you said was that me and her, that I only have a right to her as my wife if she is willing to. Right, so like she has to want to.
Well,
be
it doesn't say willing.
No. It says, that's what you said. They said though.
Yeah, because it's Old English. I was saying New English. It says that it literally says you can't grape her.
I will go Islam so fucking fast, bro.
Tell me what it is, because I don't see them.
I have a question.
Can I see the phone? I'll look it up.
Look up First Corinthians, and then look up First Corinthians, man, authority, wife. Put that and see what comes up,
bro. It just seems so like one-sided. If the Bible says that, I just got a brand new Bible. I'm throwing it away, bro. What the fuck? Like that seems so stupid.
This is the same verse I just had up.
Oh, that's what you had up. Okay,
7:14. It's the same thing.
There it says mutual consent. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Mutual consent.
Let's see. That's 7. Okay, so that's chapter 7, verse 4 through the 14th. Okay, so that says the wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband. And likewise, Also, the husband hath not power over his body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency.
That's different than
Incontinency.
what that
Yeah.
Different
It's 'cause-
translation.
No,
Yeah.
but see, I'm going off of the original translation, the King James version. Every other translation is watered down.
Yeah.
What I understand from this, right? So it says, let the husband render unto his wife with, no, hold on, let me go back up. What do we do? Void. Yeah. The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband. And likewise, also the husband hath not power over his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other. Look up defraud for me, please, Steve. DEFRAUD, right? Except it be with consent for a time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
That's
see
a
what
difference,
defraud
though.
means.
You
Yeah.
see, you didn't add that part to
Yeah.
it right there.
It's
I don't know the whole verse.
Yeah, but you
Okay,
gotta
yeah,
be careful
but
when
yeah,
you're
you gotta
you
be
gotta
very
be careful when
careful.
you're
Yeah.
you know you're
I'm
talking.
I'm in here.
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah,
here.
you gotta
Go
be
to
careful.
defraud for me, please.
Yeah,
It's
listen.
giving me the defrauding somebody like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
money.
okay,
Go to it.
yeah. That's fine.
Defraud.
Listen. You got to be careful, especially with someone like me. I'm just getting into this. You got to be careful. That'll turn me off real fucking quick.
Yeah.
I don't play that shit, bro.
Yeah.
So you're telling me because there you got to add the part of
Go
there
to
where
more
it's saying like it's
definitions.
got to be in agreements. You gotta be like it's different. Like if I'm married with my wife and
More
we both agree,
definitions
hey,
where it
listen,
says
for a
more
time we're
no,
not
no,
gonna
no,
have
up.
sex. Cool,
Right
I
there,
get
more
that.
definitions. Yeah,
but
go
what you
down.
made it seem was like, oh no, it doesn't matter. She
Okay.
has to. She has
Oh
to
no,
say
I
yes.
didn't mean to say it like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm not
I
fucking
was
with that
looking
shit
for
at
the
all,
word
bro.
consent,
Bible,
but I
in
couldn't
Bible right
find
there, the
it.
front. Yeah.
If I'm willing to die for my woman, bro, then she's has to be willing to have sex with me whenever the fuck I want. That's just how it is.
I have a question.
What's up?
Okay, so
Make it quick because he has to read this.
Oh, that's how it is. But what if like she legitimately does not want to, and she goes with it just to make you happy? So it's only about your pleasure, not about her at all.
I would argue.
And
I would
maybe,
argue.
Like she
go
did.
ahead.
You can tell when a woman's enjoying it and when a woman is not enjoying it. Why, as a human being, would you want to feel like you're doing that to somebody if they're not there? They don't want it at that moment.
Now you're making it seem like it's crepe, right? Because again, like first of all, if you're married and your wife doesn't want to have sex with you, that's a huge
red flag,
right? That's number one. But let me finish. And then number two is it's not always gonna feel like you want to have sex, ladies. Get into a marriage, right? Like a 5-year marriage, 10-year marriage. You're not always gonna feel like having sex. So the fuck what? Like you guys put so much emphasis on how you feel. Like it's not always about how you feel. Like he said, he doesn't feel like going to fight those 4 guys that broke into your house. He's still gonna do it. It's his duty to do it. Women, for some reason, don't understand what duty is. It's like, oh, if I feel like it, I'll do it. But other than that, no, I don't feel like it today. So fuck it. It ain't gonna happen, bro. That's one-sided to me.
Yeah,
Bro.
I would argue that, you know, a woman is always going to want to have sex with her husband. You see what I'm saying? Like the issue is when women use sex as leverage, as a weapon against their husbands to get what they want. That's different, you know, because for example, if you're sick, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're sick, you got a cold, you have a flu. Like at the end of the day, your man is going to be understanding to a certain degree. Okay, baby, you're sick, whatever.
Mhm.
Like on the contrary, he might not even want to have sex with you because you're fucking sick.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
He
But
should.
if it's like just because you don't feel like
Yeah.
it, that's different. You know, again, women weaponize sex. Women weaponize sex, right? We're not condoning crepe. We're not making a light of subject. It's just that the way that they project it on TV, on movies, when you see movies like The Color Purple, when you see these La Rosa de Guadalupe you know, series on TV, you see these Tyler Perry movies and all this shit. Like they give it like, oh, my husband, you know, took advantage. It's like, no, like for the most part, this is your husband. If you're both attractive, you're both attracted to each other. Like you don't want to have sex with your husband. Same thing with a woman. It'd be different if let's say you want to have sex and he doesn't. It'd be a red flag in your head.
Mhm.
It'd be like, hold on, why doesn't he want to have sex with me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're not saying that, oh, if she's sick, if her leg broke, if her fucking hand is like, no, like, come on, think reasonably,
Common
think
sense.
logically. No, it's just that women typically messed up women, they'll, you know, use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
They'll use it as a weapon, and a weak man will allow them to use it as a weapon, right?
One more thing too. You missed that part where it said if you're in agreement. There's a big difference there between what you said and what we read. And this is why, like I said, I don't. It just seems one-sided, man. Listen, I agree with everything he just said. I disagree strongly with what you said. Oh well, what if I just don't feel like it, bro? Fuck your feelings. Seriously, like men, it's that's the way men think every single day. I might not want to go to work today. Fuck the way I feel. You know, I might not want to go do overtime today. Yeah. Who cares?
Because what I'm understanding from this, right? It said, defraud ye not one another. Go back to the definition, bro, please. That ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer and come together again. I would argue that in this verse is saying that if you guys don't want to be intimate with each other, because there's another verse also that says marriage is of, I think it said marriage is pure, or marriage is of God, and the bed undefiled. So that's specifically talking about a man and a woman being married and being intimate with each other. I would argue that this is saying that if you guys don't want to be intimate with each other, that you need to fast, and pray so you can come together again. Because you're my wife and I'm your husband. We're supposed to want to have sex with each other. The same way that a man is supposed to be understanding when his wife is sick.
Yep.
A woman's supposed to be understanding when her husband is sick. But if we're not sick and we're not intimate and we're not attracted to each other, that's the issue. Yeah. And that's what I'm understanding. Like fast and pray and then come together again.
Yeah.
You know, because everything, like for example, when the Bible says a man will leave his wife, a man will leave his house, and him and his wife will become one soul. I believe that what it means by that is we come together, we're intimate under marriage, right? We have sex under marriage, and we become one soul because we have a child. Because it's 23 chromosomes from me, 23 chromosomes from you. And now they have is it 23? Yeah, right.
It's 23 total, so it can't be 23
it's
from
23
each.
total. So it's
what's I didn't think it was that much.
What's 23? It can't be 14 and a half though.
No, stupid. No, not 13.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's like 23 from each.
I'm looking it up, bro.
whatever amount of chromosomes from each parent, but you guys become one soul, which is your child. Yeah, so I think you kind of misinterpreted, but I forgive
you're
you
right,
because
it's 23.
Oh,
it's,
no,
it's 46 total.
46 total.
Yeah, okay, let me go ahead and I know what I'm talking about. So I forgive you because you were reading the New Translation or something like that?
Yeah, I have
That's
a CSB Bible.
What does that stand for?
Christian Standard Bible.
Yeah, you see?
So,
yeah.
That's my fault. Let me go get a new
man,
one.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That Bible was about to go.
Yeah, bro. I read the King James version. That's the first translation of the Bible. King James translated it. There's actually, I think, 14 books missing out of the Bible, and those 14 books are considered the Apocrypha.
Damn.
You know.
All right, cool, man. Let's go ahead and power up my man Basil. He says, "What is this church Bible study?" ? Hector is so happy right now. Yeah, man. Real quick before we move on,
Shut that shit up, bitch ass nigga.
Do you understand why we? Well, I know that you do. Do you still feel the same way?
I do feel the same way, and I'll tell you why. I do completely understand your point of view.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go back. Read the LeBron James bio. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I do completely understand your point of view. What I have realized a lot in this conversation is everything has a religious connotation, and I'm not religious.
Okay.
So,
but what about if you're not religious? But what about just being equal? What about just being fair? Right? Like, think about it like this, right? He gave you a scenario where you're at home and 4 guys broke into your house. It's not fair that the guy has to go fight these 4 men and possibly die, but it's what he's going to do anyways. However, because you women don't think that having sex with a guy and going to go get killed by 4 guys breaking into a house is equal, you're like, oh, I don't have to do this because that's severe. This is just sex. But to men, you not yet having sex with us is very severe, right? Like, as a matter of fact, you guys have the easy fucking job. I gotta go fucking die for you. All you had to do was just have sex with me. That's fucking easy. I'd take that fucking trade. What the fuck? Yo, it makes no sense. You guys have the easiest jobs, and it's like, no, I don't want to.
Damn.
I don't feel like it.
Why are you against it? Let's start there. Is it something that you feel strongly about, or like why wouldn't you want to have sex with your husband all the time?
I'm not strongly against it, but there have been instances where I've been in past relationships and I've had that night where I don't feel like having sex. I was beat from work, or I'm going through something emotionally, and you have to be in a certain mood to be able to have sex. And I don't feel like I should be having sex in that mood. But I do have a counter question to the scenario that you created. Being that if I'm with my husband and I'm entitled to give him sex, he's a guy, he's probably going to have sex every day. And we have sex every single night for 3 weeks straight. And then one night I don't want to have sex. Now, that's me providing to him every single day and me deciding not to one day. Your situation with someone breaking in the house, if he's breaking into a house, or if he's protecting from robbers for 21 days straight and decides he doesn't want to the next day, I'd get it. But that's not an all the time scenario, whereas having sex is.
Yeah, but women's sex drive could be just as strong as a man's sex drive. It's saying is like, what's keeping you from wanting to have sex with him?
Sometimes we don't have control over our libido or whatever it is, where sometimes you don't have.
I'm sorry, it's just excuses. It literally is just excuses.
Your
Look,
sex drives goes up on the certain days of the month, though.
Listen. If for some weird reason, for 21 days, someone tried breaking into your house, right? It probably would never happen. But for some reason, hypothetically, let's say 21 days, someone was just trying to break into your house. For 21 days, your husband would probably, hopefully, go out there and try to fucking solve it for you, right? Like put his life on the line for you, right? And then if it happened again for 22 days, guess what? He would probably still do the same shit all over again, right? Like it for men, it's not like, bro, it's never been like that for me. Maybe it is for some guys. We have women that come on here and they have your mentality. Well, I don't think it's fair for my man to go fight those 4 guys because what if he dies? And I'm like, okay, awesome.
I would argue that
right?
lack of love and admiration and respect for your husband that makes you not want to have sex with them. I mean, I've never experienced, something like that before. I think that it's very reasonable situations when a woman can say, "Oh, a man will know." Like, "Oh, yeah. I mean, she's sick. My wife is sick. I'm going to cater to her." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's the lack of love or the lack of respect. Or, that gives you the impulse not to want to do it with them.
Same thing with men, though. Because here's the thing: like, if that man doesn't go fight the 4 guys, he doesn't fucking love you. He doesn't love you. When a woman come on here and argue that the guy should be equal to her and we can both go hide in a bathroom, and I'm like, well, now both of you guys are dead.
Yeah.
Like in one scenario, the guy was gonna die, and you could have been saved because even if they kill him, now their adrenaline is running. They're like, yo, we gotta get the fuck up out of here, right? Yeah. That girl's in the bathroom hiding, maybe in a tub. The curtains are pulled, but like now you lived. Right? What's this bullshit about like, oh, he can hide in the bathroom with me and then when they leave, we'll call what the fuck? Like it's not like that for men, and it shouldn't be like that. And unfortunately with your mentality, those are the men that say, you know what, she's right. I don't have to defend her. And then you sit here and you cry when you need defending because your man's not defending you. But guess what? You wanted that. Ladies wanted that. That's what you want in today's society. I don't want my man to be angry. I don't want my man to be strong and masculine. I want him to be feminine. Well, guess what? One day you got robbed at gunpoint and your man just stood there next to you because he was like, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to happen to me. You said you wanted to live with me for the rest of your life. So I just wanted to make sure that we just gave him all of our stuff. And now we're here. Like, bro, what type of weird shit is that? I'll gladly take my life, man. My girl's good. I'm gonna fight you to the fucking my last breath while she runs away. And and it's fucked up because I get guys that DM me. Why would you die for a hoe, Eric? We love you, Eric. Why would you die for a hoe? It's just my responsibility. Yeah, but your hoe is gonna fuck some other dude. I'm gonna be like, yeah, but she'll be thinking of me. I mean, like, I don't know, bro. Whatever it is in me, I'm gonna do what my duty is to defend you guys. So that's what I'm gonna do. But unfortunately, women don't look at that as a duty. It's just a feel. It's a feeling, right? And it's unfortunate, man, because this is why you guys get divorced. Okay? Shout out to you right there. What's your man's name? Ricardo, run.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to tell him to run, man. It's just not a good look, man. It really isn't. I think women are so selfish in today's society. We and even me, I have a daughter, and I tell my daughter, "You're the most beautiful girl in the world. You're the best thing in the world." And it's just like they grow up and they never break that like barrier where they're like, you know what? Actually, there's more people out here in the world.
Because I've met couples that can't wait to have sex with each other.
Yeah.
Like life is getting in the way of them having sex and they can't wait to go home and rub one off with each other. Like, it's like love. Like you really love your partner. You're attracted to him. You're both in shape. You're both beautiful. You know, like there's so much love and affection and respect for each other that you're like, yo, I can't wait to go home to see my wife. Or I can't wait to go home and I can't wait till my husband gets home, you know, and I can't wait till the kids go to sleep so we can have some alone time. Like there's people like that.
Yeah.
It's just when there's no love or respect and there's just lust, you know, when it goes away.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
Love is forever. Like the lust goes away and it's like, I don't want to fucking have sex with this.
And by the way, love is an option, right? So like you choose to fall in love every day all over again.
Yeah.
And you choose to look at your man and say, I may not be in the mood, but I'm going to become in the mood. I'm going to, you know, kiss him. I'm going to remember how amazing he is. The fact that he just came home to provide. He just came home from working to provide for me and my kids. These aren't even his kids. And he's providing for my kids. Like, bro, there's got to be a level of commitment to where you realize it's not about me anymore. And for some reason, for women, it's always about them, man. Let's go ahead and power up my man real quick, man. He's coming through with a super chat. His name is Antenna Boy. Shout out to Antenna Boy. He says, I'm sorry, but this is silly. And I got to say something. Ladies, you absolutely and obviously reserve the right to say no to your husband if he wants sex. He is absolutely not entitled to your body. Okay, cool. Shout out to Antenna Boy, man. Listen, man, not everybody agrees with us, and that's okay too. But this is why a guy like you would sit here and cheat on your wife, because she's not giving you the sex that you want, right? And there's a lot of things. Like if a woman doesn't give you sex, bro, you lose respect for her. Shit, I would. It hasn't happened to me, but if a girl says no to me, I'm like, okay, cool, respect. But I'm not fucking with you like that no more. I cannot commit to you the way I was doing it, because why? Like what? As a man, when you get with a woman, she benefits in every single way. Like if you're a real man, the woman benefits in every single way, even when you get married. I have women that come on here and they're like, oh, why should I get married? Bro, it literally benefits you to get married. Everything that happens before the marriage, during the marriage, after, especially after the marriage, everything benefits you. The system was made for women to thrive, right? And so it's an absolute loss for a guy. This was for a long time. I didn't believe in marriage, and I still don't. But it's just because it's an L for guys in every single way. And the fact that a woman can sit here and say, oh, I don't want to have sex with you. Respect that. Get the fuck up out of my house. Get the fuck up out of my house. Listen, you guys can hate me all I want, but I'm willing to give everything to this woman. You gonna tell me no? Nah, man, I can't deal with that. Shout out to Antenna Boy, man. Even if we disagree, I respect it. All right, cool.
What did he say? Antenna Boy? He said something about what?
Okay, let me read it again. Antenna Boy. So you go ahead and read it.
Oh, what did he say? I'm sorry, but this is silly, and I gotta say something. Ladies, you absolutely and obviously reserve the right to say no to your husband if he wants to have sex. He is absolutely not entitled to your body.
Yeah, I can't agree with that, bro. Listen, unless she's sick or something happened or she just gave birth, like unless it's something that I can understand, because as your husband, I'm supposed to be understanding of you too. Yeah. I'm not, right? Like there's
the pregnancy process. A lot of people think pregnancy is 9 months when in reality it could take anywhere from after birth, anywhere between 18 and 24 months for a woman to regain, like feel like herself again, because not only even after she physically heals down there, emotionally and mentally, like birth takes a toll on women and men understand. Yeah. Well, men are supposed to understand. There's some men that don't, but men are supposed to understand. So like situations like that, like, you also got to be reasonable, fellas. Like we're not sitting here telling you, what we're saying is like, so like you guys read between the lines and understand what we're saying. Like don't take things out of context. We're not saying, you know, if your wife is sick,
yeah,
you know, crepe her. We're not saying that.
I'm not being barbaric about it, bro.
No, we're not saying that. We're saying that, ladies, stop using sex as a weapon against your husband if you claim to love, admire, and respect them.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, man. I agree with you. Like, I'm not saying be a Viking about it, right? Like, of course, especially if she's your wife, bro, in order for a woman to become a wife, like, we're very selective. Like, men don't just get married to anybody. It's like men will date women, right? We'll have sex with women, but we won't just marry anybody. So if she's your wife, you obviously are going to take care of her. You're not going to, if she has the flu, what are you going to do? Be like, yo, come here. Like, it doesn't happen like that. But if she's able,
I've had it happen.
Let me finish. If you're able and you're just, you know, maybe you just don't feel like it, there's no way that I as a man that I could be okay with that. There's no way.
You said you've had it happen?
I've had it happen. I'm talking fever, flu, horrible. And it's like, how do you even find me attractive right now? Get away from me.
See, that's disgusting though.
Yeah, that's different though.
Why would you, like, was it your your son's father?
I'm not gonna say who.
Your children's father?
It's like,
well, what's his name?
Let me feel better.
Yeah.
I just said I'm not gonna say
who. Yeah. She doesn't want to put him out there, even though we don't know who he is. But listen, I agree with him. That's disgusting. Again, I'm not saying it's like every single day, all day. I'm just saying, if you're able and you're fine, but maybe you were watching Love is Blind and something, you know, got you upset. I don't care about that. Like, if you're sick, yes. But if you just don't feel like it, quote unquote feel, because that's what women do. They operate off emotions, and I don't feel like it today. I don't care. And respectfully, cool. It's not like I'm going to crepe you, but get the fuck up out of my house. Whatever we had, a relationship, we were engaged or marriage, it ended now. It ended now. You cannot sit here and just use sex against your husband. You can't, bro. You shouldn't. And I think if more men sat here and had my mentality, I think we'd be better off in the world, bro. I really do think we would be better off.
Yeah, Dr. Jordan Peterson says this too. There's like, for a couple to function healthy, you guys got to at least, you know, make time to have sex with each other at least 4 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are, you know, moving around. They got to pick up the kids. He's got to go to work. It's like, you guys got to keep your spark open. You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, at least 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Have dinner with each other. Like, talk to each other. Like, that's why I said the whole thing with the journal with each other. Like, it's a lot of things that you got to understand. Is like we don't understand each other anymore, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we're like just like mindlessly floating, like a dark abyss with no direction.
Okay, real quick, man. Let's power up my boy Lord Peachy. He says the fact that a street girl selling herself to a man she doesn't want, but a man must take an L from his wife is not fair. Let me break that down again. He says the fact a street girl selling herself to a man she doesn't want, but a man must be taking an L from his wife is not fair. What do you take from that? I'm confused a little bit.
I guess what I understand is the fact that a street girl is selling herself for a man that she doesn't want. And so she's willing to have sex with a man that she doesn't find attractive, that she doesn't love, she doesn't respect for money. But a man has to take an L from his wife. And she's supposed to love him, admire, and respect him, but he can't even get sex from her.
Gotcha.
He's saying that that's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair at all, man. Okay, cool, man. I think we had a really great discussion today, man. This panel was actually really, really super cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn it over to you ladies, okay? So you guys are going to take over the show. We're going to leave out of here. You guys can basically talk about the topics today that we discussed, or if you guys agree with us, disagree with us. I'm going to have you, if you could come sit here, and I'm going to have you actually sit right here, okay? And yeah, ladies, thank you so much for today's show, man. It was a great show. I must say.
Viewers, before we get out of here, like the fucking video, man. You know, subscribe to the channel, become a member.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm gonna have you come over here, okay? You and then you over here.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Once again, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you guys, man, so much. The new merch is out, guys. Make sure you go to unfilteredpodcast.shop to check out the new merch, guys. We got red, we got blue, we got all kinds of colors. If you guys want to chop it up with the ladies, we're gonna do an after show here. Fanny, can you move to the middle for me too as well?
Yes.
And yeah, guys, if you have any questions for the ladies, we're gonna put the chat on the screen. We have a panel of beautiful ladies. We have a firearms instructor today. So you want to talk about some guns? She can talk guns with you.
She can talk guns.
All right, ladies. I'm gonna turn it over to you. I'm gonna put the chat on the screen. I'm gonna try to make it a little bigger here. But yeah, guys, we have a show tomorrow. We're gonna go tomorrow. Actually, we're going from tomorrow till Thursday, guys. And we may have a special guest for you guys coming up on Thursday. So we'll drop that maybe once it's all solidified. So stay tuned. All right, ladies, I'll turn it over to you. I'll put the chat on the screen, and it should be moving here.
Okay, so now we're able to see the chat. So you guys can like read the chat. You guys can roast them. We can ask questions. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's a little low.
Yeah, I'm a
you
little
guys sound
low.
low.
We all sound pretty low.
Go ahead.
Okay,
There
yeah,
we go.
now,
Yes. Okay. So, what did you think about today's show?
Me? It was a great show. It's always a great show with them. I like the dialogue that was going on and understanding perspective and understanding why behind. And again, it's like we don't always have to agree, but we can come to a consensus why we think this way. Why do you disagree?
Okay.
Why do you agree?
Okay, that's valid. Okay, but I do want to go back to that question because I feel like it triggered a few of us about sleeping with a man, with your husband, if you don't want to.
Well, let me add to that because that's why for me, I guess I accidentally said the word. That's the first thing everyone's going to think about because again, a lot of women, we are, unfortunately 1 in 5 women have been sexually assaulted at some point in their life. So that's a very triggering topic. I felt that it should have been maybe something compared to like, what if you don't feel like cooking tonight? Like your duty. I understand what they were saying. At the end of the day, you have a duty as your wife. It's not about you anymore because you don't feel like doing something. That's not a valid reason to not want to do something for your husband. So if it's been a long day at work and your husband says, hey, where's dinner? And you say, I don't feel like it. That's unacceptable because it's not about you anymore. That's kind of how I felt about the whole topic.
I don't think they were meaning it like as in like, like in the sense of like you come home one day and you say no. They mean it like once in a time. It's understandable to say no, but if we really stop and think about it, like most men last like 7 to 10 minutes, and it's like, I mean, if you're thinking about grape automatically when we're talking about the topic, that's kind of stupid because it's like if that's your husband and he knows you, he's gonna know how to seduce you and touch you and get you turned on. So it's not like he's gonna sit there and just boom, and get at it. Like it doesn't work like that. So I think that I don't understand why you guys automatically just think of grape.
Because like I said, again, I think when you talk about just the whole concept of it, like, oh, if you don't feel like having sex, your man you need to have sex anyway. That's what goes back to the sexual trauma. Like, well, I've been in situations in my life where I didn't want to have sex and I had to have sex. Well, I had to because I was being raped. So that's why I feel like automatically that may be where your mind is going to lead to. It's more so, again, the whole visualization that I'm giving my body to somebody, but I don't want to. But I've done that before and it wasn't pleasurable for me.
Okay,
my
that's
mind
understandable.
went there because I've been a victim of that.
Right.
So it's like you can't help your life experiences and what happened. And sometimes there are things that can be said way later on in life because this happened, oh my God, almost 20 years ago. And that will still trigger me.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, that's another thing that you just touched on. Okay, so a lot of women have been, raped before.
Right.
So would you say that when you get married, you would tell your husband about that story?
Of course.
I would say a lot of women say no, but I would say you would have to because then he would understand that when it comes to that and having sex and you say a no, it could be a trigger. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of women don't get married and get into relationships with their partners and don't like to say those things out of embarrassment.
And Fanny, you're right. Like, if you're married, your husband will know your body and know what to do to turn you on. So I was also SA'd like 3 times. And so it should be triggering for me if I don't feel like it. But I literally always feel like it. You know what I mean? Even if I'm tired, because like I still have a job, even though I do all the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and everything, I still do all of that on top of my job. But even if I'm tired, I still genuinely want to do it. Like there hasn't been a time where I don't want to, unless it's like that week or I'm sick. So,
and I understand what they were trying to say as far as women weaponizing sex, because that's kiddie games. Like, don't play with me, as far as so when you have women that would weaponize sex, they know this is what men want, and like, oh, it may be something stupid, like, well, you didn't wash the dishes or you didn't mow the lawn, I'm not having sex with you anymore. Like,
that's stupid.
That's why I understand Eric's point. You have women that do that. I've had friends brag to me about, oh no, I'm not doing this no more. Oh, stupid banter. And that's when I feel like, from Eric's standpoint, when he's like, okay, well, you can get the fuck out of my house. You know what I mean? We don't play those games.
Exactly.
Right. We don't play games like that.
But then there's other things, like when I was talking to you ladies upstairs, like I recently, just in July, I had a IUD as a form of birth control. It's supposed to last 10 years, the copper ones. Mine made it to 5 years. It got dislodged. And I couldn't walk out of nowhere. Like, my man took me to the hospital. We didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. They took a CAT scan and they saw the IUD way down where it's not supposed to be at. And, that has killed my sex drive. That has done something to me psychologically I can't even explain. And this man be frustrated as hell with me sometimes, like, well, you don't want to have sex. And it's like, but I do love you. I do respect you. I do. But sometimes it's like, I can't even explain it. I'm to the point where I think I need to see a damn therapist.
So also, like, birth control does that. Like, birth control really messes
it
you
was
up.
non-hormonal. It was a copper IUD, and they can't. A warning, side effect, whatever you want to call it, is that it can become dislodged. And in my case, it became dislodged, and it was causing contusions on the inside of, like, my womb cervix. It was very painful. I couldn't walk. This man carried me into the hospital, and we didn't know what the hell was wrong with me.
So you're currently, like, not sexually active?
I mean, I'm sexually active, but there's, like I said, I feel like it's to the point where, like, I need to see somebody about this, because what the hell is wrong with me?
Okay, so don't take this disrespectfully, but you understand that you're not having sex and he needs sex, right?
Yes.
Okay, so have you guys talked about solutions, like maybe like bringing another person into the sex?
Hold on, ladies. I want to ask you a question. Hold on. Because y'all just talking. Hold on.
Go ahead, Steve.
So,
ask the questions.
The average time for sex is 3 to 7 minutes. So my question to you ladies is, why is it such a big deal? Because most guys don't last that long anyways. So it's not like you're going to be in bed with him for 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes. Most guys don't have that kind of sex drive. We're talking, if he wants to have sex with you, we're talking 7 minutes on average, and he's done, and he's going to go to sleep. So why is it such a big deal when we say that you should, give your man sex no matter what, especially when you're married and he's not going to even fucking last long? Why is that a problem?
It isn't.
It's not a problem.
It's not a problem at all.
That's what I've been saying.
Unless you got a man that's lasting hours or whatever it is, I guess that could be annoying, because damn.
That's not a good sign for us. So
that's the problem with mine.
I mean, he shouldn't be lasting that long.
Like, sometimes
I think
I'm
he's
like,
the one that needs to check the doctor.
Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to fuck for an hour.
Okay, well, I just want to ask
ladies,
a question.
when men are operating under stress, our sex drive heightens. So, stressful day, we come back, it's like, damn, I want to just let one off, right? It's like, that's how we are. Stressful day, go home, I know my girl's there. Like, that's how we operate. But go ahead. You were gonna have a.
I want to ask a question to you, Crystal. I mean, have you tried, like, maybe it doesn't always have to be vaginal sex? Have you, maybe
anal?
I mean,
or just give him head.
That's what I'm saying. And
so you just don't have the sensation.
I feel like nobody's understanding this, because nobody's been in my shoes to go through this.
Of course.
So it has, like, killed my sex drive with what I went through with that in the hospital for a whole week. I had copper poisoning toxicity from the IUD. I had a lot going on with my body, and this just happened. July was 3-4 months ago, and then I spent all of August recovering from that. They did a whole pelvic endoscopy. They took the IUD out, and I was like, hey, tie my tubes, because I don't want no more kids. So all of it was like a healing process. And I feel like ever since then, it did something to me. And I'm still trying to figure that out. And I feel bad that my man is going through this, and he's frustrated, because obviously he's with me because he's attracted to me. He wanted me to be his woman, and now it's, and Now I'm not giving him what I used to give him. And I can understand where he's frustrated and aggravated with that. And I'm just like, but I don't even know what's wrong with me. Like, it sucks.
But are you seeking help? Are you seeking solutions?
I feel like I need to at this point.
I feel like, at this point, right? Because it's like
I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Right, there's nothing wrong with it, because if it's affecting both of like the relationship itself, it's all about solutions. Because nobody wants to be in a relationship with somebody and then this is going on or somebody's gaining weight.
Heal that trauma prior to marriage. Okay, it's not a trauma as emotional. It was an IUD.
It's still some sort of trauma if it's not letting you please your man.
But I'm already with my man, so that comment's invalid as hell. Bye.
So if he comes home one day and he's like, I cheated on you, would you expect that?
Right.
I mean, I can't even be mad at him.
Would you forgive
so you wouldn't
him?
even be mad.
I can't even be mad at him.
But, okay,
then.
But that's what my question came first. Like, wouldn't you want to just like bring someone?
No, I don't share.
What?
Come on,
sis.
sis.
I'm gonna tell you what. No. Because I'm gonna tell you what. As an older woman that has been married in the past, when I was doing that type of behavior with my husband, then he thought that it was okay to just, let me get your number when I'm not with him, and then talking to these bitches on the side. And that's when I had a problem, because then he thought that it was okay to do whenever, however. And that's why I'm not about that.
But you shouldn't project. That was your husband. This is a new guy. You shouldn't project. Oh, this is what he did.
You shouldn't punish a new man based on what your old man has done. He doesn't deserve that judgment.
Listen, in all reality, if I could have a polyandrous relationship.
So you both are?
No, do you know what polyandry is?
What's polyandry?
I know polyamory.
Okay.
Polyamory is to be in love with multiple people. Polygamous is one man, multiple women.
Right.
Polyandry is one woman, two men.
Whoa!
Yes. Okay. They don't carry me around like Madonna and Material Girl. Okay, so yeah.
At the same time?
Not at the same time.
Oh, but still.
But if that's something, you know what I'm saying, that he's open to, why do men get to have all the cake and eat it too?
So is your man not doing good enough in bed that you want to bring another man in?
Great.
That's insulting.
No, he's great.
To him. And you're insulting him in front of all of us.
No, he's great.
I would just say
he's great.
I'm not here to kink shame.
He's great. Honestly, he's the only man in my entire life that will make me gush off of penetration. Nobody else has been able to do that. He's amazing. So
then why do you need another man?
Well, why does a man need another woman?
Because we can't give it to him all the time.
Exactly.
You don't want to give it to him right now.
It's really not that hard.
You haven't given it to him since August. Of course he needs another.
No, he has had it.
Okay.
It's my sex drive is not the same. It's not how it once was. And it is kind of concerning at this, even for myself.
I think you guys should be working towards a solution.
I think
like
you guys need a couples therapist.
Ain't nothing.
He tried me. He said, "Which angel?" He tried me.
Watches excessive porn.
Y'all have a really good friend. She has a polyandrous relationship, and she is
I know couples that are
amazing.
swingers.
Like,
so it can work for some people. It can work for some people.
I mean, and you can also build a relationship. I mean, if you know you guys are both going through that, you can build a relationship with the girl. It doesn't have to be like all sex, because then you're gonna feel like you're the toy, you're being used. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can build that trust and that connection, and then you'll eventually because that you right now it's mentally draining for you, everything you're going through.
Right.
So you're gonna eventually understand that it's just sex. That it doesn't mean that he stopped loving you. That it's just sex, and it's just something biologically a man needs. You know what I mean?
Exactly why when you asked if he cheated on me, if I would get mad, I said no.
So he could have sex with other girls, but he can't text
you're
them?
okay with not knowing who he's having sex with? Wouldn't you want to know who he's having sex with?
I wouldn't want it to be like a whole relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but
you want to get your rocks off.
Okay, have you ever thought like swinger clubs and stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
There's like a shit ton of swinger clubs here.
No, I've never been.
Miami Velvet.
Now I say these things because I was in a long-term relationship. I was in a 7-year relationship, so I understand. These are conversations we used to have, like if it would eventually die out. You know what I mean?
Right.
If things were if I stopped working, I'm gonna say it like that because it's true. If I were to stop working as a woman, those are conversations that you need to have with your partner because you need to understand a man's needs.
The zinc supplements. I'm gonna try that. Thank you.
You could try maca root too.
I do have what y'all know about Miami Velvet. What you say?
We're putting ourselves out there.
Maca.
I used to work in a juice bar. That's how I know about it. I don't take it
Yeah.
yet. I don't need it
using
yet.
it again.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we can go ahead and try.
Right, like I said, going back to solutions. Nobody wants to be in a relationship and there's a problem and you just feel your partner's not doing something about it.
Yeah.
That's like when you're in a relationship and somebody starts gaining weight. You're like, listen, it's bothering me. Are you going to the gym? What are the solutions? If you just sit here not doing anything, it's like, so you don't really care about me. You're not even trying to fix the problem.
Yeah, he's just gonna go and find somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you're gonna count that as painful because you're gonna be like, oh my God, but you know what I was going through. But it's like, did you understand what he was going through?
And no offense, you're not married. He has nothing like holding him
he has
there.
like no holding links. So it's like,
he could just like leave,
Honestly,
But
I had
I
a
guess
husband and he
you're
did the same thing. So that's another reason why to me marriage is whatever.
Okay, now I have another question, ladies. So now we're kind of
we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. So would you guys leave him for man cheating?
Say y'all some red flags.
Do you think it's okay for a man to cheat, and would you stay if a man cheated?
Thank you, Repo. Wait, what? Sorry.
Do you think
Do
you think it's okay for a man to cheat, and would you actually stay if your man cheated?
I don't think it's like, okay, so biblically it's not okay for him to cheat, but if he cheated, I would not leave him. Just go pray about it. Please.
What if he cheats again?
We're gonna talk to the pastor because
so you would not leave him, like if you was to be married?
Leave him. Not even now, not even married, I wouldn't leave him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I would. I would forgive him and I would stay with him. But if it's like a repeatedly thing, because like I said, I'm very open. Like I'm a very open-minded person. Like I understand a man's need and stuff because these are conversations me and my ex-partner used to have. And like I said, it was 7 years. And you're not in love for 7 years. Let's be fucking honest. You're not. Like there's love, but you're not like in this in love thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just a duty. It's a love. It's responsibilities. And I am gonna agree. Like I failed and in a few womanly things and feminine traits that as a woman I need to fix. And then he failed as well in some manly things that he needs to fix. And we're both working on it, in separate ways. And eventually, I don't know, whatever God wants. But I do agree that if he were to cheat on me, I don't know, like once in a year, I would forgive. But if it's just like every 3 months, now you got me fucked up.
Like serial
But like,
now you got me fucked up because I'm open as fuck. What do you mean?
So once a year, so you okay with once a year cheat?
No, I would say like if it happened like in a year or like every 3 years, like you know what I mean? Like
every 3 years, it's okay for him to cheat.
Yeah, I would say yeah. But if it's like because I'm very open, so I would expect them to like want to be with the girl alone. You know what I mean? Like once in a while, like I would expect that. But it's like I'm a very open girl. Like I'm down with a lot of things. So it's like the fact that you're like doing things behind my back, it's because you're trying to get to know the person into an intimate level. And that's where us women feel hurt.
Yeah.
But it's not cheating if you know about it. I'm talking about, no, he cheated. Once every 3 years, he cheated.
Oh, yeah. Then I would say like I would forgive it like twice in my life with him. But like I said, I'm very open. So I'm sure I'll slap the shit out of her. What about you? You've been real quiet.
Yeah, Mackenzie hasn't been talking.
So it was a lot to take in. So I got a few counter questions.
Okay.
To both of you, so 2 questions actually, and they're kind of cohesive.
Okay.
So you two have said that you will do everything you can to please your man, sex, everything, XYZ, and he is still cheating. So ultimately, that's why sometimes I feel like it's definitely subjective when sometimes I'm allowed to say, hey, maybe I don't want to do something because I can do all of this for him and that man is still going to cheat. And the woman that's doing everything for the man that's still going to cheat is going to stay.
But you should be able to know by the type of man he is.
Like, for example,
because if you're out here dating a thug, like, what are you going to expect from him? Like, if he loves God, if he's into it, if he like cares for you, if he opens the door, if he's all about his, like, I wouldn't say about his family because there's some men there that don't have, but if he's like a loving person and he's very masculine and he like shows you everything and has all the green flags, then there's no reason he would do that. Well, what do you think?
Well, so I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years, and I know him really well, and I'm like the back of my hand. And he will literally, like, if he cheats, he cheats. I honestly, personally don't think he will, but I wouldn't be mad at him. He will, like, he'll never look at another girl's direction. I can just kiss him on the lips. Gets hard. Like, you know, that's all I gotta do. I don't need to do anything. Like, he is so obsessed with me, and I'm so obsessed with him. We're like obsessed with each other on a day-to-day basis. I'm not gonna say that we're still in love because it's been 3 years.
Yeah, of course.
But we're always trying to, like, you know, spice it up a little. Like, lately, he would write notes on Post-its because he leaves earlier than me because I can't wake up.
Aw, that's so sweet.
So he put a note on the mirror saying, "You look beautiful today," or a note on the fridge before I get water, and then when he comes home, dinner is ready, and I made beef Wellington to, like, you know, feed him like a king because that's who he is to me, you know. So we're just both doing our part, and we both see it as like duty. And honestly, we love each other so much that it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like, oh, I gotta have sex with him. It doesn't feel like that at all.
Yeah, because
So
you know it's the right person.
So the reason for him cheating doesn't make a difference as to whether you'd stay or not. No matter what the reason is, you would stay or forgive.
What do you mean? Like, if you cheat, like, oh, I don't like the way you did the dishes, I'm gonna go sleep with another woman?
Like, no matter what the condition is.
But it's like
man cheats-
most men won't cheat if you're not giving them a reason to.
Oh, I disagree. Men, you know, biologically.
It depends on their upbringing.
Yeah.
But men biologically with testosterone has been proven time and time again. You have, you know, Hollywood supermodels that get cheated on.
Exactly. Yeah, but what are they doing? Lots of fucking men.
Right. Yes, men
are
naturally want to be with multiple women. So they don't really need a reason. It could just be, I want something new. It doesn't have to be a reason why they decided to cheat.
It's like ingrained in them. They're very visual.
Right. So
Men
it's
are
not,
visual.
that's not like, oh, well, if you do this, he's not going to cheat. A man can cheat for whatever reason. They just want multiple women. And that's why I think, like, when we had the conversations, like, can a woman have male friends? It's like, no, men naturally or usually want to have sex with just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Okay.
But a disciplined man won't.
A disciplined man won't, but how many men do you think are disciplined nowadays?
That's why you have to choose your man. You have to vet your man and choose, like, the right man, so you don't get yourself in these positions and situations.
Right.
Okay, so what do you think about girls having male friends? Since the
Girls
guys are
having
not
male
here.
friends, like, I think there's dynamics to it. Like, is this some dude you just met right now, and obviously he wants to fuck you because he's meeting you as a grown woman?
Let's say you know him for like 5 years.
Or did you know him from when you're like 10-year-old little kids?
Okay, let me tell you
know?
something. So I'm 20, so I'm obviously still really young. And I was really naive, like a year into our relationship, super naive. And I had a guy friend at work. He was around my age, and we, like, clicked because, like, we had the same political beliefs and stuff like that. So we were really good friends. And I would never hang out with him alone. Like, I only hang out with him if we all went to the bar together after work or something like that. And I would tell my boyfriend to come with me so I wouldn't be alone in a bar setting. Anyway, so we did break up for a 6-month period. It was just, I'm not gonna get into why we broke up, but we broke up for a 6-month period. My friend from work swooped in immediately.
That's what goes back to what they were talking about.
Genuinely did. I was so hurt because I literally thought that we were friends, and I'm like, I never looked at you that way.
Men are opportunists.
Yes, and again, so I knew this other guy 10 years since I was 10 years old. He literally texted me on Facebook the other day and said,
on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. Okay, because, like, I haven't blocked on everything else. And
hey, you're lucky they didn't cash up you.
Yeah, bro. And then he was just like, oh, I've been thinking about you a lot lately. I think I'm in love with you, blah, blah, blah. 10 years. Like, I would never look at him like that. So, no. No.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah, to her point,
I mean,
right.
I don't know. Like, right before I moved to Miami, one of my friends that I did know from the age of 10, 11, you know, hey, blah, blah, blah. I just moved here. I'm trying to reconnect with some of our old friends, blah, blah, blah. And we all did. And we had a great time. So I think, like, that's okay to do if it's literally just that. And they're not trying to come at you in a different way. And they're not
I just want to add to you, sis. What's like the first thing I said when I saw you? I said, "Well, them thighs thick, man. That booty big."
Oh my god! You know what? I'm gonna need you to stand up because the whole chat. I was telling the chat the whole time how thick you were. So I'm gonna need you to stand up and show the
you don't
chat.
think your male friends? I just met you, sis. That's the first thing I said when I saw you.
I have a crush on you.
You don't think your male friends? They
Of course, they over here saying they'll bend you over, auntie, if they could. Okay, yeah, I know they would.
Okay, can you stand up?
Yeah, show the
She
chat
got
what I
like
saw.
some thick.
Oh, I'm stuck. Hold up.
Okay, like
Let me take this off.
yeah.
Do a
Take it
little
off.
twirl.
Yeah, do a little twirl and without the blazer, try to like put it up.
Without the blazer?
Yeah, or like try to like put it on the
Yeah.
side.
So they can see you.
Yeah,
know?
so they can see the booty thing.
Hold on. I gotta move over here.
Wait, go like this.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Like
girl,
she
yeah.
got a booty.
So I'm trying to understand. So you
and
really
she
don't
has
think
some thigh. Do you think your male friend
Your
won't
male
know?
friend-
Oh,
they just trying to
you
hang out.
capping right now. Stop playing with us. Yeah, Reaper, I told her she was thick. Y'all thought I was lying.
And
Okay.
I'll say again one thing. I'm sorry. I
No,
don't mean to
it's
cut you
okay.
off.
It's okay.
She's
One-
a sunset babe.
I just want to say something. Also, a lot of women don't understand. Men are naturally competitive. Men usually will compete with other men silently. We don't see it as women, but I've seen it personally when I've tried to have male friends. Not in this relationship, of course, but in past relationships. And like when you said you had a friend swoop in, I had a friend that the whole time I was in a relationship, in a past relationship, and he was plotting against my partner. They would go out, they would go hang out and stuff like that.
Cheating it up too old.
Somebody said she ain't giving none of her man. She's cheating.
Okay, wait, Crystal, one more question, and I'm not trying to offend you at all. I'm not. But you are in a relationship, right? For how long? A year and a half?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this chat is like full of men, and you just showed your body off to them. Do you think that classifies as cheating on your end or no?
No, not at all.
So you think that? Okay, how do I?
Go ahead.
explain
No,
this?
you're not.
Hold on,
Listen,
I'm trying to give another example with a man, but like
you're not
I don't
gonna
know.
offend me.
So like I don't know, like if your man was here instead and offered to take all of us to dinner and like said, "Oh, I have all this money, I could provide this for you," and like showing us young ladies this, would you consider that cheating? I guess that's how you'd flip it, right? I don't know.
No.
Okay. Just asking. I'm just asking. Because I know my boyfriend would kill me if I did that.
Okay, now let's do it the other way around. Would you allow your man to have girlfriends?
No.
Yeah, my man has a girl best friend.
Oh wait, girlfriend, like friends
Oh,
that are girls.
yeah,
like
have a
friends
girl.
that-
Like what?
Okay.
My man does have one, but she's like gay.
Basil said, "I see why he lasts an hour taking the honey." He's staying the night. Oh my god.
Can my
Okay,
man
so
have
back to the
female
question.
friends?
Can your man have female friends? Start by Chelsea over there.
It's a good question. I have to know them because I don't want to again seem controlling, and again he would have to control the narrative, and it's the trust in that I have in him that he's not trying to sleep with these women. Currently, from what I know, no, my man does not have any female friends. The same way I don't have any male friends. We have couple friends, like we have friends.
Ladies, you guys got to understand that your man, your husband, not partner, your husband can very well exercise boundaries just as much as you can exercise boundaries. Has nothing to do with controlling the
dynamic.
Yeah, it's more so mutual respect.
Keep on, Chelsea.
Right. So we have couple friends that we have friends that are they're also in a relationship and we go hang out with them. We have married friends, but as far as him I also honestly feel that I think if you're in a relationship, or if you're married, I don't even think you should have single friends like that.
You shouldn't have single friends if you're in a relationship.
Or if you're married or you're
shouldn't.
engaged, any of that. All of our friends are married or they're couples up, like coupled up. So
Okay, how about you? Would you allow your man to have?
He has one.
B says she gay.
She's gay though, but I agree with her. I mean, like, even now, all of our friends, they are couples, which is weird because like I'm 20, he's 23. All of our like friends that we hang out with, they're all in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and they're couples, and we hang out with them together. Like we went bowling
That's
one time
different.
with like
Oh my God,
70-year-old
that's such a
people.
good-
It's so
Yeah,
cute.
yeah, that's such a good- that's
because
the-
they
oh my
give
God, I'm
the
gonna ask
best
that.
advice, and we have the
Right.
best conversations. Like this one girl was like, "Yeah, I voted for Kennedy," and I'm like, "You're still here."
I voted
so,
for JFK.
You know.
Okay, how about you? Would you allow your men to have girlfriends?
Yeah, so my man has a girl best friend, and at initial moment of me finding that out, at first I was so taken back because I was like,
Red flag.
why?
Mhm.
Why?
Yeah.
But then I remember what I bring to the table and the equality I need to have, which is me having other close guy friends too. So ideally it was hard, like a hard pill for me to swallow in doing, but kind of the way that I see my mindset as is like, I haven't had an issue with it yet. Do I know the issue probably stands even though it hasn't presented itself to me? Of course, which is why I understand people not wanting their man or woman to have opposite sex friends. But ideally I am okay with it. Yes, I haven't had it present itself as an issue to me yet, and I'm sure the day it does on either end, on my
He
end
needs
or
to
his end,
set boundaries.
I'll probably think just like you guys do. I'm just not there yet, and I do kind of go off of my own experiences before thinking a certain way. So as of right now, I am okay with it, and I haven't had an issue present to me as of yet. So.
Well,
All right, real quick, ladies, we're gonna go for about another 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay,
Couple
perfect.
more questions.
So, like I said, I was in a 7-year relationship, and I had a guy friend, right? And he would come along. He would I wouldn't text him like that, but he would come along like to the beach, to parties with us and stuff like that, to drink. But he was like very respectful. It became to the point that like if I were to do anything wrong, he would like hit up my partner. Like they were like, he respected him a lot. But then my partner started working into like this place, and he became friends with this girl. And us girls, we know a girl. Like we know a girl. Like we can smell it. So she started like, and I'm big on the don't call my man baby. Don't baby my man. I don't care, you're her friend, but don't sit here and call me. And she did that one day, and then from there I was like, okay, this girl cannot be in our lives. And then she would just like, it's a new person in both of their life. And as much as you try as a girl to become friends with that person, the friendship between the guy and the girl was already first. So she's going to feel the need to ride out for the first friend, not for the second friend. You know what I mean?
Or call you insecure and say
exactly.
trying to get in between.
So, as a man, sometimes men are vulnerable. And they go and, like say their business and say their problems. So then like she doesn't know me. So then she feels the need to like, be on the man's side. So that's why currently I would say that if I were to go back into that relationship, we both can have friends.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And if it is friends, it's like Hector said, it has to be married people. And that's another thing too, because our relationship lasted so long because we would hang around adults. Like we would hang around like his sisters, his brothers, like people that were already in a deep relationship with deep values and meanings. So then you feel the need to stay there and work things out because you see other older people working it out. That's why when you said I have older friends, I think when you're young that it's like all you have to look for. Like, Basil telling me to shut up. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna pass it over to you.
About female friends?
Yes.
For a man? I have not ever heard him express that he has female friends, but like he does have like a big party planned for me for my birthday next week.
Ooh.
And he did tell me
we're not invited, guys.
What you mean?
We're gonna pull up and he's gonna be like, no.
Y'all can definitely come. No, but he did tell me, he's like, oh, I invited like a couple females that like were my ex way in the past. They're married now, whatever. Okay.
Wait. He invited like
his exes to your party?
Yeah, he's like, oh, they're married now, blah, blah, blah.
Why would you want to invite his exes?
Because I don't give a fuck. That's my dick now.
I do think he could have talked to you about it.
And on that note,
that is pretty wild.
Right. Ladies, we're gonna
I don't care.
We're gonna close it off for tonight. We appreciate you guys for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe. The ladies' IGs will be in the description if you have any more questions. Ladies, can you say bye to everybody, please?
Bye.
Oh no. I would have touched you with a fucking stick.